out to the TSL here on the live stream. Bring off the live view on the side of live. On weekend, Clarence Launceston this afternoon. Again, the footy attack top four moving forward over the next couple of weeks. This afternoon here, right? It'll be a cracking stuff. Yes, it should be absolute cracker. Both teams are top four. Launceston obviously second and they can't do it a second, but they're comfortably there. But Clarence are getting in full position and they're in a battle with the Tigers who they are off the last week. And they're on the 10th of the Tigers who play more points than they did. So Clarence have played with the
welcome here to the Twin Ovals in Kingston. Two games this afternoon between the Tigers and North Launceston. And there's huge ramifications on the TSL ladder this week on today. We've got two teams on 16 points at the moment. We've got Clarence and the Tigers. They're both playing this afternoon at the same time. And of course playing Launceston at the Richmond. And the Tigers are playing North Launceston at the North Launceston, great team to win to wrap up the top place in the TSL ladder. So it's a great game here. Pleasure to be here. It's been a tough day with the Whites. We've had all sorts of weather, 4 seasons in one day. It's been so far 3 days. Hopefully the rain will stay away. In comment this afternoon, welcome Anthony Osborne.
Great to be with you today, Dave. Looking forward to this one. You mentioned the weather could be
this is Launceston's last game of the regular season. The other big omission this afternoon is resting.
Absolutely, and on that stats this afternoon, welcome to Dave Gruber.
Great job looking in the ruck this year, but coming into the side, playing his first game.
And look, Anthony, before both teams, you can't fault the form of the Tigers. 3 tight wins, and the season that's gone, but you're right back in the ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. You touched on that. The chapter of the tight contest last week, they kicked the breeze in the last quarter. Actually progress to keep going. They showed a lot of resilience against the Roos. It's right here at the Twin Ovals last weekend. And before that, wins against Glenorchy and Old Hobart showed a lot of character. I think this young group, they'll be looking to extend this little winning streak and against the benchmark in the competition for the last couple of years.
Yeah, big late change.
Yes, huge late change for North Launceston. The absolute legend of the North Launceston Football Club, I think we can use that term. Greycock's good, a late withdrawal. Nathan Pearce coming in for him this afternoon. So that's a big change for the North Launceston Football Club. And for a couple of the Tigers, it will be a little bit easier heading into this game today.
Absolutely. You can hear today's action on City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5, thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall, Kings Meadows, and the Brisbane Street Mall. We thank you for your support this season. If you're watching the stream today, it's slightly different camera position due to inclement weather, very windy here, and the prospect of rain and hail. We've got a slightly different camera position undercover today. And we're undercover here, over on the eastern side of the ground. What about spot to call the game, Anthony?
Yeah, absolutely. They look after us well down here at the Twin Ovals, the Kingborough Tigers. And yeah, a bit of a different vantage point, but quite enjoying this one so far. Looking forward to seeing how this game unfolds through a little different perspective.
We'll have Blair Brown with half-time. He's a Richmond, got some transfer to Launceston, and I've heard there's a late out, Mitch Thorpe out at the game at Richmond, so that's a significant change there. It's great battles today. Tyler Carter's in great form, and so is Corey Nankervis. That's going to be a highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler Carter, one of the, over the last couple of years, has become one of the competition's most improved performers. He's been really impressive this year with 20 goals from 11 games, and Corey Nankervis has just slotted in seamlessly in that key defensive position for North Launceston. So 2 of the 4 players in the competition, and the way Tyler Carter plays and really pushes himself up the ground, I think that's going to be a crucial battle.
Certainly will, and Cox continue. As you mentioned, it's a big out. We've also got out today's team Mark Walsh and also Tom Bennett from last week's game at Richmond. So a few new players, and Riley Sanders' exciting debut.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I'm really looking forward to seeing today. Young Riley Sanders, just 15 years of age, playing with his brother Ollie. That's a huge achievement for the Sanders family, and a really exciting one for him as well.
And they're on opposite wings. In front of us here, we can see number 16, Oliver Sanders, and Riley Sanders on the far side, playing on the other wing. He'd be very nervous. 15 years of age. Reminds me of Tim Watson back in the day in 1977. He debuted for Essendon against Richmond. Remember that one, Groups?
I do, yeah.
VFL Park. So it's a great debut for the young 15-year-old. And also Sam Foley from Launceston debuting today at Richmond. So good luck to all the players here today. Looks like Cooper Storty's going to start in the ruck up against Alex Lee, another form ruckman in the comp. And we're underway here as the ball is raised aloft. So Storty tries to take possession. Mackenzie Willis gets a handball weight at Campbell and attacks straight away to the Tigers. Up towards full forward, Carter. He's up against Richter Solder, actually, the battle there. And the full ball with Digan. Couldn't pick it up. Tackle laid by Van Buren. And it's going to be a ball up about 30 metres out from the Tigers' goal. As a few spits of rain start to fall. Will be the feature of this afternoon. We've got showers passing through at regular intervals. On the bound from the ball up, trying to break through there, I think it was Lovell. Oh, he's tackled strongly there. Releases the ball, it's near the goal square. Wally Sanders gets his first possession, gets it away to Fletcher Bennett. Kick under pressure. It's marked there nicely on the far side. I think it's Eddie Burrows King taking the mark there with the long sleeves. And the breeze is probably going towards the northern end of the ground. Can you name for that end, Anthony?
Don't have an exact name for it. Dave always called the entrance end down
Okay,
here between us would be the northern end of the ground.
So Eddie Burrows King on the sleeves. Lining up for goal. This will be a handy one early days here for the Tigers. Burrows Ching for goal. Not bad, but it's just off to the left. By strikes his breast and says one behind. That's the first score of the day. It's the Tigers one behind. North Launceston yet to score. Anthony Osborne with City Bug Radio.
So first blood to the Tigers. North Launceston bringing the ball at the 10th line, then Curtis. A lovely ball just hits Jacob Lasky, half back. Commentary side of the ground for today, just in front of the Tigers club roof. Dances around Zach Adams on the mark as Lasky. Dinky little kick from Jay Foon. Ever consistent Jay Foon. Any midfield minutes this year for him. He shoots the ball down to Taylor Whitford, the coach of the North Launceston Football Club. So a couple of players on short, just assessing his options at the moment. It's Taylor Whitford. North Launceston looking to hold possession. Ross Ponting, right spot at the right time, takes the mark. Taylor Whitford presents. It's a quick little 1-2. Bit of a messy little bit of work from Taylor Whitford and Ponting. But Ponting gets the kick away. Just falls short of Kieran Lovell. The centre ball, but dances through the middle of the twin ovals to Kieran Lovell. Sharp work from the Tigers star. Kick left a little bit to be desired though. Mopped up in defence for the North Launceston Bombers by Corey Nankervis, who's a couple of touches early.
Grown a bit recent times.
Certainly has. Looking in the Alex Lee direction. Josh Ponting's out the back. Happy to see that ball roll out of bounds for a throw-in directly in front of us, the twin ovals. So Ponting and Whitford, a couple of the prime movers getting their hands on the football early. So Brocox Goodyear, the other superstar of this team, missing today. So Whitford and Ponting will have big roles to play. Alex Lee wins that tap down. Zach Adams in pursuit. Just got off his boot. The umpire asking a question, but it will be a ball in. Kenzie Willis running this stoppage as well. Great to see him back in the yellow and black this season. Ball in, one down by Sorty. Kieran Lovell, straight down his throat, hacks the ball to half forward. In the end, mark's taken strongly for North Launceston by Jacobet.
Okay. Gets it up now to Gardner for the Tigers. Tigers at half forward. He goes sideways there looking for a teammate in Eddie Burrows Cheng, knocked away from him, and the ball spills out of bounds around 30 metres around from the Tigers' goal. So quite start here. Just the one behind. To score for us here, Ed?
Not just yet, probably got that throughout the afternoon day.
Yep. Of course, currently playing Launceston. We've got SFL on, NTFA as well. So a lot happening here in footy as we get towards the business end of the season. It's late September, we're usually done and dusted, but we're going a bit longer this year. It's Alex Lee. It's a thump down. As now it's Campbell, left foot shot for goals, not bad. First goal of the day, Will Campbell, off the left foot from the pocket, that's a beauty. And the Tigers are up and about here as 1-1-7 with North Launceston yet to score. The Breeds here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's a fantastic start for the Tigers. Will Campbell, clinical finish, and that's something that really added to his game this year, the ability to hit the scoreboard. He's been reliable in front of goal for the Tigers this year, and that's just a lovely finish. And just the start the Tigers would have been after. North Launceston really haven't got the ball beyond halfway. Early doors here, Dave.
Yeah, certainly have. And we were out there before, and the breeze was certainly favouring that end, as I said, the northern end. So we'll get a bit of a gauge on it at half time. But North Launceston inside 50 so far, groups. What have we got?
Inside 52 to the Tigers. North Launceston still have to get in.
Yep, so they haven't really been into their forward line yet. So back in the middle. Nice thump out there by Sorty, using his leap well to half forward. Running the ball there was Watt. Now it's with Bain and Lowe. Leans back on a kick to the far side there. Slipping over is James Curran. Chance there for Briggs. He handballs over his head to no one in particular. Good tackle laid there by Riley Sanders. No, a bit high, says the umpire. So it'll be a free kick to the Tigers.
Alex Bessel, the recipient. Dinky kick to Marcus Davies. He's moving the ball inside 50 again of the Tigers. Digan was the target. Just goes over the top of him. Launceston with the numbers at the back of the pack. Bring the ball out of defence by Braden Van Buren. Plenty of bodies around this football. Mark's taken. Moving the ball well here in Launceston up. Past the interchange bench. Finds Lasky. Moving the ball well here in Launceston up. Past the interchange bench. Finds Lasky. Centre wing. Kicks the ball to half forward. Mark McCulloch, his first look at it this afternoon. McCulloch drives the ball inside 50. Sam Rice is there. Content to take that one over for a minor score. So North Launceston's first foray inside 50, resulting in a minor score. Mark McCulloch will have a big role to play, Dave.
He certainly will. Started the season slowly, but building pretty well. So taking the mark, there's Riley Ashland. Gets it out of Zach Adams. Adams up the wing. Turning around and taking the mark there, just is Luke Graham, just inside the boundary line, right in front of us here in our commentary position. So Luke Graham up towards half forward. Bit of a wrestle. Bill towards Foon. Tries to run it in with one hand. Jack Bilson's there. Handball over the top to Carter. Handball to Willis. Willis for the second for the Tigers. Loud for the breeze and hits the left-hand goal post. So, he had to let that one go out left to start with, and he got to come back, but he probably allowed a little bit too much. 1-2-8 the Tigers. North Launceston one behind. Good standard game early in difficult conditions. Now it's Ponting. He's going to look here for Lee up against Sorty. Clears both of them and spills out of bounds. This is City Park Radio, 103.7 at 96.5, and via the TSL live stream. So now the umpire about to throw it into this strong breeze, blowing from the southwest. So a lot of spectators with many layers on today here at the Twin Ovals. Lee wins a tap on as far as Adams. He turns around, kicks semi-smothered there by Ponting. Now it ends up here with Oliver Burrows-Chang. He kicks towards goal, it fades away. The mark might be taken just inside the line there by Richter Solder. So Richter Solder relief for the Bombers from the back pocket.
Solder kicking the ball from where it came. Ponting the back of the pack, hasn't done its lead. The ball rolls out of bounds. Really fascinated by the rupture today, Dave. Alex Lee, probably the most consistent TSL ruckman for a number of years now, and he's up against a bit of a tag team duo in Gardner and Sorty. Sorty's really taken the mantle for much of this year. In this case, it is Sorty up against Lee. He wins it down to Kieran Lovell. Hurried kick. And as far as Ponting, it was touched off the boot. Treats back to Foon. Lovell's going to get it once again. Handballs back to Zach Adams. Crunched by Tom Donnelly. Fantastic tackle from Tom Donnelly, holding the football on Zach Adams. That's the defensive pressure that Taylor Whitford would want from Tom Donnelly, but he would not like that kick. Puts his teammate under immense pressure. Carter and Graham, I should say, gets the handball over the top to Bilson, through for a minor score. So he did the hard work, Tom Donnelly. Yeah, and just put his teammates under the pump. The Tigers hit the scoreboard with another minor score.
The scoring some opportunities early out of Tigers. Simpson gets it now towards Food. Handballs down to Connor Young. Keeps the kick low into the breeze, but he gives it up. And Zach Bessel once again there.
And Young Alexander
goes sideways. It's a chance now for the Tigers to build. Up the wing in Bilson, who's been busy early. The cricketer Jack Bilson. He kicks along the half-forward flank. Carter in a one-out contest. Smart handball Sanders. Gets it to Foon. Then up the wing to Tom Donnelly. And Tom Donnelly, like to atone for that error before, he nearly gave up a goal to the Tigers. He's on the far wing. Handballs it over now towards Foon, who's been really busy early. Handballs on a great one to Event. Now it's in a phone box as Tigers. You get inside 50. Punched away at front position, Richter Solder. Ball before the contest, Richter Solder goes it after it. He tries to strike a tackle from Carter. Does he do so? No. Incorrect disposal. Great tackle, Tyler Carter. And he'll be lining up from right on 50. So a chance here. While he's lining up, we have a grand final win today to Georgetown in the under-21s in the NTFA by 56 points over Deloraine. Congratulations to the Georgetown Footy Clubbers. Tyler Carter lining up, 45-degree angle, comes around on the left. And he kicks it into the breeze, won't make the distance. Punched away. Whitford, the Lamble over the top to Event. Back to the goal square to Van Buren, kicks smothered. Goes through for a behind. 1-4-10 Kingborough. North Launceston 1 behind 1 point.
I think that says a fair bit about the conditions today. It's going to be tough from that sort of range. Carter, in the end, nowhere near it as North Launceston bring the ball back out. Josh Ponting now has it half back. Just assessing his options. Sam Rice working overtime on the mark. Opts to go out wide to the lead. Short kick, so North Launceston look to be doing this chipping ball game, considering the conditions today. Kick down the line on his teammate James Cullen. Moves the ball into the middle of the ground, then Curvis now. High ball towards half forward. The target's going to be that late inclusion in Pearce. I don't know if we can complete the mark, but a bit of dash from Bain and Lowe. Dishes the ball out to Pearce, receives it back to Lowe. Shot on goal! For a minor score. Bain and Lowe just showing a bit of dash there, Dave.
Nice little move there with Nathan Pearce, the ex-Gould player. He's made his way back in the TSL this year. Played now a couple of senior games. For fullback. Halleck long, here towards Ashland, and he gets a fingertip to it. Falls out of bounds. It's a pretty even start. What do you think that breeze is worth, Anthony?
It's tough to tell. I mean, looking at that kick there, Frederick Burkers was on it, then I saw Tyler Carter kicking to the same end, so I think it's going to be really tough to see. I think quite a swirly breeze. Probably tough to put a cold up on, I think, Dave.
Hope the rain stays away. Oh, beautifully shark there by Whitford. Look away handballs and jam now towards Withers. This way, that away, Withers. Low kick inside 50. Elijah Reardon takes the front position and takes the mark. Dashes off now. On half back, nice little kick with the breeze there towards Digan. Close attention with Connor Young. Handball's a bit speculative, taken by Lovell. Incorrect disposal, Kieran Lovell holding the ball. Don't see that very often. So Connor Young, tackler. They'll out the ground for Connor. Gonna pump it inside 50, keeps it low. Nice little chop out there from Campbell. Ponting's got on the boundary line, dangerous. Right foot banana to the goal square. Chance there from Mark, and Reardon takes another mark. We had a good game last week, Anthony.
Certainly was one of the standout performers this season for the Tigers, Elijah Reardon. Drives the ball out. You can just see again the breeze making a little bit of havoc. Extra Pilson rolls out of bounds. Score update from Richmond Noble. 12.5 minutes into that game. Clarence 1 straight 6. Launceston 2-2-14. So the Blues with early lead down at Richmond. Back here at the Twin Ovals, boundary throw in. Sorty won it down. Taylor Whitford's going to win the pursuit for the ball, though. Just a quick snap around the body. Nice collection from his teammate. He dishes it off to Bain and Lowe. A bit of a havoc ball inside 50. The pressure on the Tigers now. Bombing ball back out of defence. Sitting underneath it is Ollie Sanders. Drops to improve the angle. Goes inboard to his teammate as North Launceston drive the ball inside 50. Marking on 50, it's Nathan Pearce, that late inclusion. He opts to go back to Ollie Sanders. So just chipping the ball around to North Launceston before driving the ball forward to the goal square. Tigers under the pump at the moment. Plenty of bodies around this football. Handball goes out in the direction of Donnelly. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle. Umpire lets it go for a ball up. Top of the goal square for North Launceston. So it took a while for the Northern Bombers to get the ball inside 50, but a couple of repeat entries in the last few minutes. So they just start to work themselves into the contest. Donnelly doing the ruck work there for North Launceston. Again, wrapped up in a really strong tackle. The umpire will take it back once again, and we can just see in front of the stadium those goalposts shaking quite a bit at the moment.
Absolutely. You probably can't see it from the angle of the stream at the moment. They are shaking very, very much.
Another ball up. Tom Donnelly again competing in the ruck. Bert's there. Lasky now has the football, to retreat some ground and goes back into Withers. Some questions about whether it was 15 metres. The umpire says it was. So Daniel Withers is going to have a set shot. Seeing the wind making a little bit of havoc so far today. So he's going to be kicking from a very tight angle. This broadcast side of the ground for today's game. Ready to kick from 40 metres out from goal. Very tight angle, tucked up in the pocket. Daniel Withers on the way now. Really never looked like it. Dave needed to allow for a little bit of extra space for the win. It's going to be tough to negotiate today.
It's going to be a tough day to kick goals here. It's a really strong breeze. It's going to be testing conditions for both teams. Luckily the sun's out. Rain staying away at the moment. Give the Development League score in our next topic. Just Lovell now kicks out from the back pocket. Gardner's there, punched away from North Launceston to Sanders, who's been prominent early, to Richter Salter. His kick doesn't allow for the breeze. Goes straight out of bounds on the full. So earlier today, the big win of the Tigers in the Development League, 9-9-63, defeated North Launceston 1-6-12. So, yeah, that's a great win for the Tigers. Of course, those two teams were the grand finalists last year. It was a bit of an epic grand final of the D-League last year. Here's Fletcher Bennett to Stimson. Over the top, puts his teammate under pressure in Egger. Has to release Campbell now. Might have been pushed in the back. Umpire says no. So the ball up, left half forward for North Launceston. Playing 15 and a half minutes, like a real high-scoring game. It's Tigers 10, Bombers 2. The Northern Bombers, formerly the Robins, back in the old NTFA days. That's from the ruck Sorty, who's doing a lot of the rucking today. It's the tap out. Bruce, we might get some stats for you. It's our next stoppage. Let's look at inside 50s.
Yeah, inside 50s, 8 to the Tigers. And as Anthony said, a little flurry of inside 50s for North Launceston. We've got them up to 6. Hit outs, 6 apiece, clearances 5 apiece. So pretty even.
Pretty even contest here at the moment. There's a bit of volleyball happens. Lee taps it straight to Adams. He's tackled. Ashland can't pick it up. Now Lovell does. Gets it to Ashland. Spins around. Beautiful handball off to Luke Graham. Up towards half forward, but all the Northern Bombers chop out marked there by Victor Salter. Victor Salter is going to go to the VFL this year. Of course, they've got canned with the COVID situation. To Riley Sanders, little kick. Might find a teammate here. It does in Current. Might have got one high. Beautiful spin by Campbell. Great skill. Gets the handball away. Puts Watt under pressure though. Graham has an outlet now in Ashland. Ashland kicks wide out of bounds in the full. He's some great little working close at the moment there, Anthony.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of really slick pieces of play. Zach Adams before, I've been really impressed with him the last few weeks. I don't think he's really cemented his place as a TSL footballer. And Will Campbell, one of the real feel-good stories of the year, coming back from a horrific injury. He's been one of the Tigers' more consistent performers this season.
And he's been building, hasn't he? His form is just game after game has improved.
Absolutely. He already hit the scoreboard once today as Will Campbell. North Launceston here, driving the ball out of defence. Lee was the target. Riley Sanders at ground level, getting his hands on the football. His teammate Zach Burt there as well. Ball chopped off by Luke Graham, who just brings the ball quickly inside 50. Gardner's going to be the target, unable to take the mark. Lockie Watt dishes the handball out in the Adams direction, but it's just a bouncing ball. Ollie Sanders, who's had plenty of the football, kicks the ball out of defence. Donnelly just lost his footing at the important time. Pearce and Rice roll the ball out of bounds for a throw in. So these conditions at the moment, it's very much just driving the ball inside 50, propelling it out, and then it going back in as the umpire just waits for some support over the boundary fence there, Dave.
Someone has to come out of the grandstand and brave the wind. The gentleman does it nicely.
So 1-4-10 the Tigers, North Launceston 2 behind. 17 and a half minutes gone in this opening quarter. Boundary throw in on the wing. Again, you can see the ball moving quite away in the wind as Sorty taps that ball back over the line for a repeat boundary throw-in. Interesting to note that Victor Salter's taking part of the entirety of this quarter, and Nan Curtis is taking either Gardner or Sorty, depending on who's inside 50.
So Sorty's doing more ruck work than I've seen him do in recent times.
Yeah, absolutely. He's adding another string to his bow. Sam Rice at half back, dishes the handball over the top. Tigers with some numbers. It's Lockie Griggs. He loves to run and carry the football. He's done so on this occasion. Kicks it out wide. Looking in the direction of Ollie Burrows Cheng. Tigers with some numbers as they bring the ball up to half forward. And Curtis harasses his opponent over the line for a throw in. So very much an arm wrestle early here, Dave. Neither side able to really crack this game wide open. 8 points the difference at the moment in favour of the Tigers.
Bounty throw in. You get a blustery win in our effects mod. As Lee gets the tap out. A lot of players around the contest though. So going to emerge with a clearance. It is Mackenzie Willis, I think it is. He kicks it up towards full forward. Big mark there to Connor Young. That's great mark, Ken. Been in and out of the team this year, Connor. Been irregular in recent seasons, but he's playing well with afternoon so far in this first quarter. He dashes off now to Connor Young. He kicks long down at the outer side. And a nice mark over the back. Look at probably Oliver Sanders, who's... Is it Oliver? No, it's Lasky. Sorry, Jake Lasky. He goes short and gets it to Foon. Laid out today was Brad Cox-Woodger, replaced by Nathan Pearce. Of course, Mark Walsh and Tom Bennett out from last week's team. Long kick by Foon. Gathered nicely here by Withers. Takes a bounce. There's Withers. Not a great kick. He dribbles in though. It's good enough. It's the first goal for North Launceston to Daniel Withers. And they're on the board here at Twin Ovals. 1-2-8. Plays 1-4-10. They trail by 2 points. And he got the old dribble kick.
I actually think he might have just thought about the breeze there, Dave, and thought if I dribble it along the ground, it's probably taking out some element of risk. But a nice finish in the end from Withers. It didn't look overly conventional off the boot, but it just did the job. And he's atoned for his set shot earlier in the quarter. another one of those players who's this time of the season is really going to be doing everything he can to cement the spot, isn't he, Dave?
He certainly is, and he's had a great season. Once another one of those NTFA boys. A few have come from Hillwood this year. Talked about Nathan Pearce, Tom Bennett, Mark Walsh, and Dan Withers is another one. And he's done great work at NTFA level. Won the Best and Fairest awards. But, he's rewarded there with a great goal. So back in the middle, and it's Mackenzie Willis who's spun in a tackle there from Whitford. It's great play on the outer side. Long kick by Foon, and that got me thinking about the breeze because we're getting plenty of distance there with that Foon kick. Here they go now through Whitford. They're on fire now, North Launceston. Going forward. Did McCulloch mark that? Umpire says no. Have to hit the deck. So sliding clearance there from North Launceston. I'll tell you what, looking at the replay there on our monitor, it's a close thing. But anyway, it's be a ball up, about 35 out. We'll get a score from Clarence in a minute. And Launceston, Gardner kicks it wide. Bouncing ball close to the boundary line. Taken there by Griggs, who just kicks it high in the air and wide. Marked or out of bounds on the full. Gets a mark there to Whitford. So Whitford, he says he's going to go long. Will it be a bluff? No, he does go long. Towards the goal square. His kick just fades away, which gives us time to get a score there from Clarence, Anthony.
Yeah, so Launceston leading 2-3-15 to 1-1-7 at quarter time down at Richmond. So, again, not too sure what the conditions are doing down at Richmond, but an early lead to the Blues.
And close to quarter time here, we'll be on 21.5 minutes. So players finding it difficult to control the ball with this strong breeze. Some clouds over to the west there, looking a little bit ominous. Have had some showers earlier in the curtain raisers today. So it's a boundary throw in at half forward for North Launceston. Lee wins a secondary tap out. In fact, he takes the ball, gives it to Withers, kicked that first goal for the Bombers. Toward full forward, Griggs and his bootlaces, taken by Donnelly, who snaps on goal. Misses everything, out of bounds on the full. So the leading kick, free kick to the Tigers. They lead by 2 points, 22 minutes in.
Lockie Griggs to bring the ball back into play. Tries to kick across the ground, really dangerous kick with the conditions. I think it might have just been touched before it went out of bounds. So, concerning, it might have been out of bounds on the full. Brief moment of worry for the Tigers, but it will be boundary throw-in. Clearing ball from Griggs didn't quite go to plan as the ball comes back into play. Gardner competing in the ruck as we hear the siren sound. So, quarter time at the Twin Ovals. The Tigers 1-4-10, leading the Northern Bombers 1-8. And certainly been an arm wrestle early, Dave Moore.
Yeah, you got the feeling, Anthony, it was a quarter of two halves. I thought the Tigers really dominated that first 10 minutes. Had shots on goal that perhaps they couldn't convert it, but North Launceston then in the last 10 minutes of that quarter really got their act into gear, and they could have also squandered some chances. So, yeah, pretty even first quarter.
Absolutely. And a few just really nice passages of play. I think Northern Bombers early on were really content to chip the ball around considering the conditions. We saw them just accelerate things a little bit later on in the quarter as they started to generate some repeat inside 50 entries. But yeah, as you said, the Tigers early on, they certainly looked more lively than North Launceston have done well to rein things in and really put themselves into the chance at quarter time.
Goal kickers to quarter time. Will Campbell kicked the first goal of the game. So he's the sole goal kicker for the Tigers, and for North Launceston, a good running goal to Dan Withers towards the end of the first quarter. So that's the goal scorer for North Launceston. So it's 1 goal 4-10 Kingborough. North Launceston 1 goal 2-8. We'll take a short break here on the stream and also on City Park Radio. We'll come back with all the stats and look forward to the second quarter. Get you to do that scripts here. second quarter action. Don't forget, at half-time, we'll have Blair Brownless, who will be giving us a report from Clarence versus Launceston. He's also got a couple of premiership reunions there today as well, so that will be very good to get a report on that. So centre bounce or centre throw up here at the Twin Ovals, and 40 wins it. It's down to Mackenzie Willis, and Mackenzie Willis now wins himself a free kick in the middle of the Twin Ovals. He kicks it forward as the rain starts to fall up here towards Luke Graham. Punch away from him. Lovell kicks off the ground, taken though by Foon. His handball over the top now to Ponting. He looks for a receiving handball, but can't get one. So he kicks up the line. And mark taken there by Bain and Lowe. Back to Foon, who's had a lot of it in this first quarter, first part of the game. Picked off the ground in the Tigers' defence. Reardon gets the spinning ball. Darts off, runs his full measure. Kicks deep inside 50 here. Bouncing ball, Tyler Carter, Luke Graham dangerous. Coming to meet it though, there was Dan Curvis. North player tackled to the ground, ball up. A little bit of rain here on the glass of our commentary position. So make it a little bit difficult, but not too bad so far. Ball up, taken out of the air by Carter. He releases the ball. Ponting, little kick towards half back. Eddie Burrows, Chang's tackled. Lockie Watt, kick doesn't go any distance. Foon tackled. Dygan in there. Riley Sanders as well. Now it's taken by Whitford. Pushing the back, play on advantage. Whitford kicks in the middle of the Twin Ovals. Punched away by Rice. There in front of Pierce. Pierce in the follow-up. Now Reardon again. Gee, impressive. Once again, Elijah Reardon. Kicks inside 50. Long kick. Almost a mark. There to Carter. Foon, handball. Riley Sanders. Gets it nicely away there towards Event. To Whitford. Back to Event. Can't quite rein in the handball. Reardon, another possession to Willis. Kicks it off the ground. And then Ponting just boots it out of the area towards the interchange area. Centre wing. Pierce, in fact, that was Lasky in there. North player tackled. Ball, says the crowd. A ball up, I think, on the far wing. Still the quarter-time score, 1-14. Kingborough, North Launceston, 1-2-8.
If you're frantic football to start that quarter, Elijah Reardon racking up the touches early in this second term. Thrown up by umpire Sam Bridges. Alex Lee wins the football and just hacks the ball inside 50. Cullen's deep. The Tigers have some numbers in retreat. Nice work there from Pierce to put the pressure on. It was in the contest. It was a 2v1, but he's done well there as late inclusion. Nathan Pierce sporting a very impressive bid there, Dave.
Yep.
It's certainly eye-catching for Pierce.
Lucky Godonsky there. He's had a couple of weeks out of the team with the injury.
Ball back into play. Will Campbell back in the pack, just drives the ball, gaining as many metres as he can. Gardner's in the middle of the ground, unable to quite complete the mark, but he competes well at ground level. Handball out. Sam Dygan's there for the Tigers. Take it high, says the umpire. So Dygan just backwards of the centre circle. Finds a runner out wide. There he goes. The Tigers just patiently bringing the ball up, but in the end, let-off kick for North Launceston. So they get the ball half back. Immediately under the pump, that was Rick DeSalto. Dishes the ball out wide to Bennett. Simpson crunched in the tackle. I think that might have been Mackenzie Willis. No, Will Campbell it was, and the umpire says it was an illegal tackle. So
50-50, Anthony, I reckon.
absolutely. The Tiger fans aren't too happy with it. Ben Simpson, he is the beneficiary. Gets the ball out wide to Connie Young. Fletcher Bennett's the runner. There's another runner here in Ollie Sanders. A nice link-up handball from the Northern Bombers. Sanders brings the ball inside 50 in the McCulloch direction. Again, moving with the breeze, out of bounds for a throw-in. Ollie Sanders starting the second quarter like he did the first.
Yep, and the hills behind us here. The foothills of Mount Wellington now shrouded in cloud. There's a bit of snow on the mountain this morning as we drove into Hobart, Gribbs and I. Donnelly wins the tap out. Is Zach Adams back to Lovell. Lovell in a trading kick into the breeze to half back. Punched down by Bennett. Now to Davies. Davies, beautiful handle over the top to Oliver Burrows King. They're away here, the Tigers. Inside 50, no well-directed kick though. You see, going to mop up here is Aaron Richter Salter on his right side. So he handballs now towards Foon. Foon with a kick up the wing. Chance here for Ponting. Nice thump away there from Zach Adams. Falls to Lee. Gets the call there from Fletcher Bennett. Over to Sanders. Tackle from behind. Has the sense to get rid of it. James Curran inside 50. A lot of Tigers there, but over the back, McCulloch nearly takes a mark. Has the recovery. Gets around an opponent. Out to Donnelly. He'll be on the boundary line. Can he pick it up? Slippery ball, does now. Banana kick out of bounds on the full. Free kick, the Tigers. Frenetic passage of play. I'll tell you what, Ollie Sanders, he moves the ball nicely forward. He's been on the end of lots of those chains of handball.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's also just a very silky mover. And you by Kieran Lovell. Lockie Griggs fighting in front. That man, Ollie Sanders, again, getting his hands on the football. Kick around the via Kieran Lovell. Lockie Griggs fighting in front. That man, Ollie Sanders, again, getting his hands on the football. Kick around the body. Finds his teammate. And again, squandered opportunity. James Curran. Out of bounds on the full. Just struggling to master the conditions of both of these teams. I reckon that's the second or third time from that spot, Dave, that we've seen a ball straight out of bounds on the full.
Unless you're 15 metres out in that pocket, I think you're almost an impossible task to kick a goal.
Fair call there from Dave Moore as the Tigers bring the ball back out. Ollie Sanders again takes the mark. Perhaps it could have been a 50 from the player running in there, but he dishes the ball out to his brother in Riley, who finds Jay Foon. Kick out wide in the direction of Podsing. Sam Rice does really well. Keeps the ball huddled in front of him. Burrows Cheng there for support. The Tigers just hack the ball towards half forward. It's going to be a foot race now. Tigers there for the Tigers. Well, Launceston with some numbers. Fletcher Bennett brings it out of defensive 50. Finds Connie Young. Kicks down the line in front of the interchange gates. And Alex Bestel almost takes the mark, running back with the flight. We'll go out of bounds for a throw in. So directly in front of the interchange gates, across the ground from us here in the broadcast position. 6 and a bit minutes gone in this second term. The Tigers still winning it by 2 points.
Haven't seen a score as yet in the second stanza. So the rain continues to fall. Alex Lee gets the shallow throw in and knocks it to Ponting. Over the top here looking for Simpson. He can't take the ball with him. And it's a scrimmage to the boundary line and it will be a ball up. North Launceston slightly in attack. Goal scorers so far today, Withers for the Bombers and Will Campbell for the Tigers. Get a score there from Anthony at Richmond in a second. And it's taken by Lowe. Ponting tackle, maybe without it. Claims it, not paid. Willis, long kick. Will it drift out of bounds on the full? Stays in. Thumping spoil there from Gardner. Bilson, inside 50. Chance now. Carter takes the mark. And Tyler Carter, one of the premier full forwards at the moment in the TSL, takes the mark about 40 out directly in front. So good movement there by the Tigers. Jack Wilson involved. And a nice clearing kick along the wing by Willis sets up Tyler Carter. They really need this one. Goals are like diamonds on days like these. What can he do on the left foot? Tyler Carter. Umpire moves. One behind. 1-5-11 to 1-2-8. Anthony, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Richmond Oval. Not a lot has changed since quarter time. It's a 10-point advantage to the Blues. 1-1-7 Clarence. Launceston 2-5-17.
Going to be a high-scoring day in these conditions. So it's cleared here by Fletcher Bennett, who will handball over to Simpson. Runs himself into a corner. Has to release a handball now to Connor Young. They're going backwards and all the Bombers. Foon takes on the contest. Wins it. Handballs away to Riley Sanders. Now to Simpson. Gets it nicely to Burt. Good football under pressure by the Northern Bombers. Kicks up the wing. Leading the contest there was Lasky. Now it's Donnelly. Looks for support. Goes himself. Kicks it inside 50. Chance here for Egger. Egger takes the ball and kicks the goal from the goal square. So Thomas Donnelly moved it quickly. And Egger, ever the opportunist for the Northern Bombers, kicks the second for them. And that's 2-2-14 Northern Bombers, Kingborough Tigers 1-5-11.
Yeah, really good kick there from Tom Donnelly to the advantage. Sharon Egger was always going to win a foot race and did well just to got it through. But probably one of the first times today that we've seen end-to-end football actually go the whole way, Dave. Seen a lot of ball just going out of defensive 50 and then coming back. But some really good work there from the Northern Bombers.
I mean, that goal was fantastic. I mean, the skills under pressure, get along with TSL footy because some of the skills that the players used to keep possession and move the ball on that wing was just fantastic.
In these conditions as well. That's champagne football considering the conditions. We're back in the middle of the ground. Alex Lee wins it down to Ponting. Mackenzie Willis lays the tackle, and in the end, it was holding the man. So Northern Bombers to take the advantage. No, asked to go back. So Damon Lowe swooped on the football, but it will be coming back to Josh Ponting in the middle of the ground. Mackenzie Willis touch. Overzealous with his tackling pressure. So this is now a crucial stage of the game for the Tigers. North Launceston in that second goal have now taken the lead. 2-2-14 to 1-5-11 as Ponting drives the ball inside 50 over the back. Lockie Griggs unable to complete the mark. Just gets his foot to the football. Willis meets Simpson hard in the contest. Willis was the winner in the end. Ashland's handball set to task for Burrows Cheng, but he's up to it. So he kicks the ball to half forward. Rick DeSalter playing in front with Tyler Carter. Carter does well in the end. He shrugs Rick DeSalter, gets around onto his left boot, a bouncing ball to a very dangerous spot as Bilson kicks off the ground for a minor score. Almost a karate soccer kick there from Bilson, but just a minor score as North Launceston to bring the ball back out.
Aggressive Jack Bilson today. So the ball comes out towards Lee, fumbles slightly. Tigers player on the bottom of the contest will get up, and that is Eddie Burrows Cheng. So North Launceston with that second goal. Halfway through this second quarter, 10.5 minutes in. Lee takes out the ruck, gets it quickly to Ponting, who's in hot form at the moment. He kicks here towards Bird, who's held without it. Bird plays on. Now what's happened here? We've got a player injured in back play, so I didn't see what happened. He's holding his head. Looks like a Tigers player, Anthony.
Looks to be. Didn't see the incident. Looks like it might be Lockie Griggs.
Yeah, it might be a long sleeve player.
I think it might be Lockie Griggs.
Yep. So that's unfortunate. Not sure what happened there because it was sort of well away from the play. We don't like to see these sort of things in footy when players on the ground like this. So the trainers are in attendance.
Yeah, Marcus Davies there in support as well. To see the two teams take the opportunity to get together and reassess.
He's getting up to his hands and knees, I can see.
Yeah, didn't actually say what happened there, Dave.
No.
No one remonstrating with anyone.
No, there didn't seem to be anything untoward. That's that's why it's a little bit of worry sometimes when you see something such as that. We hope Lockie is all right.
He's become such a crucial player for the Tigers in the last 18 months or so, hasn't he, Dave?
Yep, he's on his feet and walking with assistance of the trainers, arm around each trainer towards the boundary line. So that's a good sign. And we get a quick score from the NTFA as Lockie Griggs makes his way off the ground at quarter time, or in the first quarter, sorry. Deloraine 24, Rocherley 1. 14 minutes in the first quarter, that score. So a fast start there for Deloraine. Kangaroos there in the final. So play on now. Richard Solder gets it to Ponting. Ponting, mentioned this pocket is very difficult to score from. He's a long way out anyway. Punches into the breeze and finds a teammate in Whitford who leads up. And if anyone can make a miracle happen, Anthony, from this sort of position, it would be Taylor Whitford.
So how good was that pass from Ponting as well in the conditions there? He's just a fantastic footballer.
Taylor Whitford lining up in the pocket, 10 metres in from the boundary, right-hand side, allows to the breeze. That is a fantastic kick. Taylor Whitford, take a bow. He punches his fist at the crowd. That was a fantastic goal. I take back what I said before about it's going to be impossible to kick it from that pocket because Taylor Whitford just make it look so easy. It's a really tough breeze. That's a big goal for North Launceston. They're out now by 8 points, 3-2-20 to 1-6-12.
Yeah, I think Taylor Whitford might have heard what you said, David. Just wanted to prove you wrong, as he's done so many times before. Excellent work from Taylor Whitford. Tigers in a bit of a worrying spot now. It's 8 points the difference, but North Launceston just starting to make the most of their opportunities. 1-6-12 plays 3-2-20, 13.5 gone in this second term. Just back into the middle of the ground, it's going to be Gardner up against Alex Lee on this occasion. Gardner wins it down, looking for Lovell. Ollie Ashland's going to swoop on the loose football, gets a handball out to Will Campbell. Picks it up well, it's crunched in the tackle from Alex Lee. That's what you like from your big man, Dave.
Inspiration stuff.
Excellent work from Alex Lee. Will Campbell swooped on the football with the drive the ball forward in the end. Met by the big ruckman. So Alex Lee now with the free kick, just backwards of centre. Drives the ball to half forward. A couple of targets there. Donnelly unable to complete the mark for the Tigers. He's wrapped up in the tackle. Ashland's thereabouts for Kingborough as well. Plenty of bodies around this football. The umpire will take it back. So just on the pain of 50.
The quick stats from you groups?
6 to North Launceston, 4 to the Tigers. Clearances, 4 to the Tigers, 3 to North Launceston. Inside 50s, 7 to the Tigers, 10 to North Launceston this quarter.
So that's another inside 50 now for the Northern Bombers. Will Campbell drives the ball out wide, just a hurry kick. It's set a bit of a task here for Luke Graham, who's got Then Curtis on his heels. Boris Chen comes in for support, does well in the end. Handball back to Graham, who finds Marcus Davies. Get the tackle by Lowe, but just able to get the ball back into play. Third sweeps on the football. Good tackle laid by Sorty. Just scrappy football at the moment as both teams try and gain some meterage. Boris Chen lays the tackle. Luke Graham, a smart kick just in front of him off the deck. All the Bombers with the numbers. Strong tackle laid by Riley Ashland, out of bounds for a throw in. So, sort of a rolling scrum there at half forward for the Tigers, but they've got the ball in a dangerous position. Boundary throw in from the paint of 50.
3-2-20, the Bombers. The Tigers, 1-6-12. This is City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. And linked up with the TSL live stream here this Saturday afternoon footy at the Twin Ovals. Ponting gets another possession. Kicks in the centre. What a great pickup that was from Dan Withers. Kicks up the wing. Front position there in Burt. Nice spoil there from Donnelly. Did well against the bigger body of Zach Burt. Pumps it out of bounds. Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Dorr, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall, Brisbane Street Mall and Kings Meadows. There's the boundary umpire. Tough gig today for boundary umpires. Wet ball. Strong breeze. See what the young man can do. Does it well. Beautifully into the breeze. Lee. Tap out. Ponting again. Kicks it just inside the boundary line. Inside 50. Nice ball from the back. Falls with Zach Adams. He kicks it straight away up in the air. Won't be 15. Bain and Lowe thumps it. Donnelly there. Zach Adams in the follow-up. His kick smothered. It's out of bounds. So boundary throw-in. Next week we'll be at UTAS Stadium City Park Radio for North Launceston versus Glenorchy. If Glenorchy win tomorrow, you never know. They're still in with a mathematical chance getting to the finals. It's a tight finish to the season for that fourth place. Gardner might have got a shove there from Lee. Bain and Lowe takes it just inside the boundary line. Fumble there from Sanders. He fights on it with Digan. Back to Sanders. Gets a kick under pressure. Could be handy. They do well, though, with Godomski taking it for the Tigers.
Godomski finds Zach Adams tight. Again, another phone box for Adams to operate in. Just gets the kick in the Gardner direction. All the Bombers with the numbers. Josh Ponting dishes the handball out wide to Sanders. Unable to complete the transaction. Eggers there for support as well. Plenty of bodies. Umpire Sam Bridges will take it back. So Will Campbell is immediately to set up on by 2 Northern Bombers. Repeat stoppage. Sharon Egger playing the tackle. Will Campbell is immediately to set up on by 2 Northern Bombers. Repeat stoppage. Sharon Egger playing the tackle. So Gardner and Lee resume hostilities. Taylor Whitford sells a bit of candy outside of the boot. Oh, just misses Taylor Whitford. He's already produced a bit of magic this quarter. Just goes through for a minor score there.
That could have been the player of the day, Anthony, that one, if that had gone through. There's Blake McCulloch, kicks it out at defensive 50. When he can't quite get his hands on it. Gardner does well to Campbell. Gubby towards Carter, who leads out and takes it in front of Richter Solder. There's a handball now, mentions it reasonably well to Adams, who fumbles. Now it's a fight between Richter Solder and Adams. Carter, though, well, gee, he moves through like a rover, does Carter. Then he gets the handball all the way to Lovell. Leans back on the kick inside 50. Oliver Burrows Kings there. Withers at the fuller ball. He had pride, I reckon. Umpire says yes. And a great tackle there to Jack Wilson. So Dan Withers there. Shows you at this level of the game. First thought is the right one. We held on to it too long. Now Ashland, lovely kick inside 50. Big flyers wanted. Taken by Fletcher Bennett. He's tackled. Slung to the ground. And the whistle now on play. It will be a ball up.
Does it all, Tyler Carter. Dave, still a bit of candy before, and that's a great tackle just then as well.
About 15 players around the contest here as Lee taps it. So we have for someone to break free from this. And there'll be another ball up. 18, nearly 19 minutes gone. 21 plays 12. And at half-time, we'll get a report from Richmond Oval. The game between Clarence and Launceston. Keep you up to date with the NTFA as the day goes along as well. Big grand final there. Taken by Fletcher Bennett. Back to Richter Solder, who clears for the Bombers.
Richter Solder's kick in the direction of Donnelly. The Tigers with the numbers, though. Bit of volleyball play. Withers at the bottom of the pack as he just drives the ball down the wing. It's going to be a big ball to win here as Ashland and Lasky combine. Taylor Whitford, in the end, has a bit of a panic as he just tucks the ball under his arm, draws the player, finds Josh Ponting, who goes in the McCulloch direction, over the top of him, and now Sam Rice has a lot to do Bain and Lowe competing against Sam Rice. Quick kick from Bain and Lowe through for 6 points. A fantastic finish from the youngster. Just worried Sam Rice out of the contest in the end. North Launceston, they have their 4th and extend the lead to 15 points.
Well, just a one-on-one contest, and the young man just showed a bit more poise against the experienced player of Sam Rice. And he won the contest, kicked the goal, simple as that. But lovely flying footy again in the lead-up, wasn't it, from the Bombers? You know, the usual suspects, Whitford, Ponting, etc.
Yeah, Whitford just using his experience to draw the player, finds Ponting, whose kick didn't quite hit the target, but with Bain and Lowe around goals, we know how fast he is, and just used his speed to his advantage there. And as you said, had the composure to finish against a fantastic opponent in Sam Rice.
The boy from Devonport played a little bit of Devils at the back end of last year. Lee wins the tap out. Here's Lovell. Eggers there. Lovell keeps his feet, but he can't quite pick the ball up. Now chance. Bain and Lowe, a little look away to Egger, who's going to be tackled behind by Reardon and will be penalised. It's a great tackle right to Reardon, who once again has been one of the Tigers' best. Deep inside the Tigers' defensive area. They led by a small margin at quarter time. It's the 2 points, but now they trail here by 15 points, close to half time. Elijah Reardon kicks wide. Boone is there, can't quite take the mark. Coming through beautifully is Connor Young. Hands it off to Curran, back now to Whitford. Gets inside 50, rising high was Egger. Couldn't take the mark. Sam Rice is there again. Egger dives in. And so does Bain and Lowe, but it'll be a ball up. So dangerous position here. Last thing the Tigers want is another North Launceston goal. Margin is manageable at the moment. But, another goal here. Make it very tough in the second half. Whitford, talk about tough. Gets through a couple of tackles. Releases the handball. Lovell, great contest there with Donnelly, who wins it. Tackle laid nicely there by Campbell. So some tough footy being played.
Big couple of minutes for Taylor Whitford as well. He set up that goal before and he's had a couple of other touches then. He's such an impressive player for North Launceston. This ball's in a dangerous spot now for the Tigers' defence. Swooping on the football was Donnelly. Hurried kick off his boot. Doesn't really get anywhere. Tigers with the numbers. Kick across goal finds Zach Adams in the back pocket. Now, this the Tigers have become stuck quite a few times today. Dinky little kick in the Carter direction. In there for support was a Tigers teammate. The Tigers, in the end, managed to not concede a late goal. So, Kingborough, 1-6-12 at the half. North Launceston, 4-3-27. So, a quarter that really belonged to the Northern Bombers in the end. They made the most of their opportunities and take a 15-point advantage into the main break.
Goal kickers so far, Dan Withers for the Northern Bombers. Dan Withers 1, Sharon Egger 1, Taylor Whitford 1 and Bain and Lowe 1. And for the Tigers, first goal of the game, Will Campbell was their goal scorer. Just got a score at quarter time in the NTFA, the St George Shield. And it's Deloraine 31 leading Rocherley 2. So might be a breeze there. Looks like there's a breeze all around Tassie at the moment. So we'll wait till half time to get a bit of a gauge on that game. Well, North Launceston, as they do, they get themselves in an arm wrestle. They just showed some real pieces of class, like Taylor Whitford, that goal, for example. That was terrific. But young Bain and Lowe, Sharon Egger, those players in the forward line, they looked dangerous, but they were well fed by that fast North Launceston midfield with Oliver Sanders, Josh Ponting, etc., getting the ball in on a regular basis. Yeah,
and I think they've just kind of shifted their game mode a little bit here, the Northern Bombers. They started the first quarter with very much a short chipping game to keep control of the football and probably just take a bit of the fire out of the game nice and early. But yeah, as you said, the quick ball movement really did play into their favour in that second quarter. And as you mentioned, guys like Taylor Whitford really starting to get on top and combining with those younger players like Bain and Lowe and Ollie Sanders.
Before we go for a break, Groobs, you got our stats there for the first half.
Yeah, okay. First half hit outs that quarter, 8 to Kingborough and 11 to Launceston, so 15 to the Tigers up to the half of 22 to North Launceston for the league. Clearances that quarter, 6 to Kingborough, 10 to North Launceston, so 18 to North Launceston up to the half of 14 to the Tigers. Inside 50s, 10 that quarter to the Tigers, 17 to North Launceston for their 3 goals, but 3 pretty valuable goals as it's panning out. 26 to the half of North Launceston, 21 to the Tigers. Marks inside 50, 1 to the Tigers that quarter, 2 to North Launceston. And free kicks overall up to the half, 11 to the Tigers and 7 to North Launceston.
Thanks, Dave. Groove, a great effort there with the stats. So, yeah, look, the clearances, that's where they're getting on top. I mean, Lovell and Mackenzie Willis have been doing a pretty good job. but they're probably just losing those one-on-one contests around the midfield at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in front of us at the moment, Dave, I can see Lockie Griggs making his way,
Yep.
and no, doesn't look like to be a leg injury or anything like that. I think my initial guess would probably be a concussion of some sort. He looks a little bit dazed at the moment. So fingers crossed he's doing okay, Lockie Griggs. We didn't see the incident, but obviously assisted from the field, and no ice, no crutches. It just looks to be a little bit worse for wear.
That's, sometimes those things can be delayed.
Yep.
The contest can happen, you go away from it, and then you can suffer the effects afterwards. So
absolutely,
that's what's happened there.
Obviously, fingers crossed that he's okay. And in a football sense, it is a big blow for the Tigers. He's been a really impressive player on half-back and on the wing for them for the last couple of years.
We'll take a break here on City Park Radio. When we return, we'll talk to Blair Brownless, who'll be at the game Launceston versus Clarence at Richmond. Good work, boys.
It's a bit tough with the rain on the. It's quite distressed.
Interesting.
It's a concussion for sure.
My first worry was, maybe he's passed out. What's his name from St Kilda?
Yeah.
He might have got a knock earlier and just.
Yeah,
I thought the ball was up there.
Yeah, Robin.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Welcome back to the Twin Ovals here in Kingston, and it's North Launceston 4-3-27. Leading Kingborough 1-6-12 at half-time. We've got two games going on at the moment. We've got another game happening at Richmond, one with a lot at stake, especially for the fourth spot on the ladder. And we've got Blair Brownless, who's down there enjoying the day with a few old Clarence players, and we welcome him to City Park Radio. Good afternoon, Blair. Yeah, and look, what about the weather conditions? We've got showers on and off here. What it's been like there at Richmond?
Absolutely, Anthony here, Blair. Thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio. I guess a lot's been made of how young this Clarence outfit is this year. I think Jeremy Webley's done a fantastic job with the young group. Who have been some of the young Clarence players that have stood out so far?
And Blair, it's big stakes in that game today, isn't it? If Clarence can get that win, they're pretty much assured of that fourth spot.
And I guess for Launceston, we heard pre-game, I believe Mitch Thorpe are laid out. How's the forward line functioning for the Blues today?
Reagan? You? Nothing is great. Rightio. You? Righto.
No, that's okay, Blair. You're a busy man down there with all your duties off field with the Roos as well. So I guess the second half. That certainly would have been something for the. I don't know where the landing strip would have been down at Richmond Oval at the moment there, Blair, but no.
Yeah. Well, it's a legendary moment in Tassie footy. It will go down, I think, in the history books, Blair. Look, what's the spirits like with the Clarence Old players? Are they enjoying how the younger breed are going? And a huge boost this year if they can get that fourth place and probably play North Launceston. Well, Blair, we'll let you get back to your old Clarence mates and tell some more stories. And thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio. Thank you, Blair Brownless there at Richmond, talking to us about the Clarence and Launceston game with the margin at half-time is just the 6 points. We'll take another break here on City Park Radio on the stream. We'll come back in just a moment. reckon he can hit SFL. Into a final, which would be great for them. All right, I've got a couple of scores in other games here. At quarter time, I mentioned that Deloraine were leading Rocherley by 29 points, but there is a breeze there, and a couple of goals to Hawkins and Cousins in the second quarter. It means it's now 31-15, and that's tightening up there. So 16-point margin at the moment to Deloraine. You got anything for us there, Anthony?
Yeah, a couple of big SFL finals today. I don't have a score from down at Cygnet, but I do have one from Lindisfarne. The Blues trailing 6-12 early in that opening term at Anzac Park.
Lindisfarne v.
Hobart.
Yeah, it's great to see the Hobart Tigers back in the finals.
Absolutely. They've had a really impressive season under the reign of Alex Gilmore, who came across from Richmond and the Old Scholars. And, yeah, they've started the season really well. They probably faded a little bit late, and Lindisfarne almost the opposite. They started quite slowly and have finished the year really well. So that's a huge game, an elimination final at Anzac Park.
Margin here at half-time, 15 points to the Northern Bombers. Of course, the big announcement yesterday was the retirement of Jay Bowden, and we can't say enough about the contribution he's made to Tassie footy, especially the TSL in recent years.
Absolutely. It's I think it'd be flippant to say that it's a privilege to watch someone play, Dave. I think watching Jay Bowden, particularly over the last couple of years, with my involvement with the TSL, it's been an absolute honour. He just consistently delivers the goods, and the fact he's come back from a pretty serious injury 18 months or so ago and has still been playing some excellent football. He has really played every position on the park and excelled in everything he's done. So, yeah, congratulations to him. What a fantastic career.
Great servant for Glenorchy. And, of course, the reports about that he might be going to the Old Scholars next year.
Yeah, again, I think he said that he's happy to have a kick somewhere. And I think whichever competition he does go and have a kick in, it's going to be a huge boost for that comp and a huge boost for whoever he does join. He's shown over the course of even this season that he's still got plenty of tricks up his sleeve. And I think the footy smarts that he's had for so long aren't going anywhere.
Okay, so the players are back out on the ground. North Launceston just doing some warm-ups. We talked about the injury earlier to Lockie Griggs, and just looking at the team out there now as they warm up. I'm not sure Lockie's out there, so we see him there.
Yeah, I think he's walking with Trent Bormler across the coach's box at the moment.
Tracksuit top on, all picked.
Looks like that's one player down for the Tigers in the second half.
And North Launceston, I think they are all out there. So, young Riley Sanders, we talked about him pre-game. He got a few possessions, but he looked a bit silky smooth, and it looked like he deserves his place at this level already.
Yeah, absolutely. You can huge raps on him already. He's such a young player at just 15 years of age, and yeah, obviously a tough, as you mentioned earlier, a tough game to make your debut in really difficult conditions and a lot of tough contested footy happening. But yeah, when he has had a little bit of space, he's looked really exciting, and I think for him, the opportunity to play alongside his brother would be a huge thrill, and I think Ollie's definitely jumped up with that occasion as well. He's probably been one of the better performers on the park.
And, of course, the Tigers, if they lose today, it's not all done and dusted, but they would have to beat Lauderdale next week and hope that Clarence lose to North Hobart. So, you never know, but it would make their task much easier if they could win today. We've seen them come from behind in previous games, so I wouldn't count them out yet.
Yeah, they've been a really impressive outfit over the last month or so, and I think they probably knew heading into all of these games over the last couple of weeks that the work was cut out for them to make finals after such a slow start. But as you mentioned, 3 really gutsy wins in a row. And North Launceston, they broke that hoodoo last year with a really impressive win on a similar sort of day from my memory.
Yeah,
It was quite a gloomy, wettish sort of day down here at the Twin Oval. So they'll still think they're a red-hot crack in this contest, but they'll have to really have a good showing in this third quarter.
And North Launceston aren't a team that seem to be sort of slowing down before finals. They are ramping up, and especially that second quarter, they look very impressive. And they want that top spot. As we mentioned, you don't want to play Lauderdale in that first week, that first final, second versus third game, because Lauderdale are in great form.
Yeah, exactly right, Dave. And the fact they're doing this today without Walsh, without Cogsgood, without Bennett, they're just such a deep list that they've got up their sleeves, North Launceston. All of those players who played in the Development League Grand Final last year against the Tigers are out there today. And, that second quarter, they really did flex their muscle. And, again, they had some missed opportunities, with quite a few out of bounds on the full shots on goal, but they did make the most of their opportunities compared to the Tigers in that second term.
See, the big three there, the Tigers midfielders, Willis, Campbell and Lovell, are going to start this quarter. And for the Bombers, and they're just moving towards the centre now, we've got Simpson, Egger, and also Ponting. So that's the thing with North Launceston, Ant. They've got so many players they can rotate through that midfield.
Yeah, exactly right. We've seen Sharon Egger is a great example there. He doesn't spend a lot of time in the middle, but he just adds that extra element of speed in there as well when he does go in.
You're listening to City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5, and via the TSL live stream. And the umpire raises the ball aloft. Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall, Brisbane Street Mall and Kings Meadows. First contest in the ruck is won by Lee. Down to Simpson. Takes it. Evades his opponent and then kicks a funny sort of kick towards half forward. Rice gets the spoil on low. Here's Lovell. Needs to lift. And he kicks it up here towards half forward. Beautiful pass to Dygan. The ex-demon, Dygan, kicks inside 50 wide towards Carter. Probably not the place to be. And Richter Solder thumps it away from the contest. Yeah, I'm not sure about the sense of actually leading towards that pocket, Anthony. We've seen it's, except for the miracle Whitford goal, it's been hard to score from there all day.
Yeah, and a lot of times it has gone there. It's just been trapped, and they've really struggled to then to bring the ball back towards goal, as you mentioned, Dave. So a tough spot to go, and I think that probably would have been one of the messages I would have thought to Trent Formula at half-time. Carter competing in the ruck on this occasion. Egger sharks the football, just loses it, regains it again, and then loses it once more as Burrows Cheng burrows into the contest. Ponting playing the tackle. Plenty of bodies around this football, and the second half starting like much of the first played out there, Dave. Some real tough contested footy.
Yeah, it certainly is. This is the quarter where the Tigers have just worked their way back into it, try and even it up at three-quarter time. As Egger gets the handball out in towards Simpson, who's played a bit on ball today. He's tackled by two. He somehow tunnels it out. Now what does the umpire say? Might have been hasty there as the ball was released, but it'll be a ball up right half forward for the Tigers. Haven't kicked a goal since the first quarter. Nice goal to Will Campbell from the forward pocket, left foot. As we go now with Egger. Taking the ball was Mackenzie Willis. Gets it back again as Willis. And he's tackled. So a scrambly start to this third quarter. It's Northern Bombers still leading by 15 points.
See Riley Sanders around this contest and giving off some strong Matt Rao vibes with the tucked-in jumper and the socks high up, Dave. I love that.
Love the comparison.
Old school there is Riley Sanders, young 15-year-old on debut. Lee wins that ball down. Ollie Sanders, the brother of Riley, combines with Riley, throwing a bit of poise through traffic. Kick from Lee, chopped off by Campbell. He's got support there in Lovell. Inboard to Elijah Reardon. One of the Tigers' better performers this year. Puts his teammate under the pump with Lovell immediately tackled. In the end, the kick just gets out to Zach Adams, who drives the ball inside 50. Strong lead up there from Graham. Then Curvis over the top. McCulloch there for the Tigers. Then Curvis again with the football. Bouncing ball out of defensive 50. Northern Bombers thought they might have been away, but it just trickled out of bounds for a throw-in. So just forward of centre there for the Tigers. 1-6-12. Play the Northern Bombers 4-3-27. It's just a little rain starts to come across the Twin Ovals here. Boundary throw in. Alex Lee wins it down. Simpson getting his hands on the football a few times in this quarter. That time pinged for holding the football. Tackle laid. Just a little bit of demonstration off the ball as well. Umpire says nothing to worry about. So we'll go back to Mackenzie Willis. Hasn't had a stack of the football today, Dave. He's done some handy things when he has had it. He brings the ball inside 50. And Curtis had the step. Unable to take the mark. through there for support. Alex Bessel swoops on it for the Tigers. Retreats around to Campbell. Into kick, just along the ground in the end. Out of bounds for a throw in. So, positive sign for the Tigers. They've got the ball inside 50 and they're able to lock it in for a couple of three-feet entries. Isn't that what it is so far, Dave, from the turn?
Just the 2 inside 50s, both to the Tigers. The boundary umpire throws the ball in for the blue seats there on the far side. Waits with the wind as the boundary throw in. Dygan takes it, handballs over his head. Little handball. Ends up here with Davies, back to Rice. Rice kicks quickly inside 50. So no luck there. In fact, the touch ball, Bennett tackled. Still a chance. Dygan. And the Tigers fashion something here. Taken by Simpson eventually. Wide here towards Ponton, who takes the mark. Plays on straight away. Picks up the wing looking for McCulloch, who's been quiet today. On the spillage. Tigers did well. And, the mark is taken there by Lovell, is it? Lucky Watt. It's wide into the pocket. Lee thumps it away here towards Donnelly. So the contested ball in the forward pocket. There'll be a ball up once again. So the rain starts to smatter on our commentary position here in the windows in front of us. A little bit difficult to see, but we'll do our best here as the umpire throws it up. Willis has taken a tackle by Whitford. Oh, and is that a high tackle? Jay Foon appeals for it. How does the umpire see this? So it'll be a ball up. Right beside the behind post. Left forward pocket for the Tigers. Desperately need a goal. Tyler Carter does well, releases the ball. Actually hits the behind post. Boundary throw in. A lot of players around the contest, Anthony. It's going to be hard to score from this position.
I think I've heard David King refer to that as a snatch and grab from the ruck contest, and Tyler Carter has become quite prolific at those, unable to quite complete it on that occasion. She's going to be in the ruck again against Alex Lee. Lost his footing, did Carter. All the Bombers with some numbers. Jay Foon wrapped up in the tackle. Jack Event swoops on the footy. Wrapped up in a tackle, potentially holding the football. The Tiger fans are appealing for it. The umpire says no doing. Then Curvis, handball out wide to Richter Salter, wrapped up in the tackle. Alex Bessel swoops on the footy for the Tigers. Plenty of bodies again around this football. It's going to be a ball up just inside the boundary, half forward for the Tigers. So Tigers have done well here just to lock the ball inside 50, but they're going to need some reward for effort. Gardner taps it down in the end, just straight over the boundary for another throw-in.
Hasn't reached any great heights this first 6 minutes, Anthony, has to be said.
No, it hasn't. I think the conditions certainly playing into it. All the Bombers certainly make it a grind from here, you'd think. The Tigers desperately hoping to hit the scoreboard and get some reward for effort because they are throwing a lot at the contest at the moment as Gardner just slaps it back in the direction of Campbell. All the Bombers have the numbers. Kodomski chops it off. Gone out of bounds by Zach Burt. How have you seen Zach Burt's return to TSL this year, Dave?
Yeah, he's struggled on occasions. Like he's just struggled with the tempo. He played forward a bit early on and played back, so he's always been a versatile player. But just there's signs in recent times that he's starting to recapture that form that we know he's capable of. As Lee gets a little tap away. Has four on the ball. Ponting. Kick out here towards Lovell. He accelerates from the contest. Kicks inside 50. A lot of Bombers there. Bennett takes the wise move there and thumps it away out of bounds. So that 15-point lead, Anthony, it's now like 30, isn't it, when we look at the conditions out?
Yeah, and I think the Tigers, a couple of missed opportunities early, could go back to haunt them. 1 goal 6 to the Northern Bombers, 4 goals 3.
And groups inside 50s this quarter quickly?
5 for the Tigers, none to 9.
Okay, so 5-0. As Ponting, he's got a lot of it today. I don't want to influence your votes there, Anthony, but he's had a big part in this game. His event lays a tackle. His opponent there in Dygan, out of bounds. So Anthony, yep, you've got the big job today, mate. The 3-2-1 for the City Park Radio Player of the Year award.
I do appreciate getting the notice before the game this week, Dave, so I've had all the game to think about it.
Yeah, you're into it.
Gardner pushes the tap down. Then Simpson, the recipient, just a high up and under. Plenty of players under this football. Sanders unable to quite complete it. Kieran Lovell harassed over the line. And a Withers tackle. The boundary throw in. Rolly Sanders in the thick of it. Good to see on debut. Such an exciting young prospect for North Launceston and for Tassie footy more broadly. So the umpire throws the ball back into play. Holds up a touch in the breeze. Alex Lee just falls short of him. Riley Sanders gets the ball on the outside, kicking to half forward. A classy kick to Daniel Withers in the conditions. Just executed to perfection as Withers wheels and goes. His kick just goes out of bounds on the full. So this breeze really wreaking havoc on the contest. The Tigers switch the football. Coming to Godomski. Just run himself into a little bit of trouble there, Godomski. Has the composure to settle things. Just kicks the ball out wide, out of defensive 50. Goes out of bounds for a throw in. So North Launceston get the ball inside 50 for the first time this quarter. We've played almost 9 minutes, remaining 15 points of difference.
Yeah, short quarter it will be, based on our first 9 minutes of footy. No scoring. 1-6-12, 4-3-27. That was the half-time score. Lee wins the tap. Lovell is really lifted in this quarter. He takes the ball. It's tackled. Well, it's an emerging. I'll get Anthony there to check the score at Richmond for us. That in a moment. Ball up for pocket. For the Bombers. Clark wins a tap to Whitford, who's tackled straight away. It's not pretty footy at the moment.
Score update there from Richmond, 12 minutes into the third quarter. Clarence 4-2-26, leading the Blues 2-9-21.
Well, there you go. It's could be the second upset this year for Clarence and against the Blues. As Ponting takes the ball out of the air, kicks wide, bounces inside the boundary. So not a bad result for North Launceston. They can set up in the left-hand forward pocket now. 10 minutes gone, just ticks over. 1-6-12 Kingborough, North Launceston 4-3-27. Yeah, so big ramifications, that score there. If Clarence can hold on, they're pretty much assured of finals in season 2020. McCulloch wins a tap out to Whitford, releases it. Chance for Withers for his second. I think he's kicked it. Dan Withers, 2 goals. And North Launceston move on to 5-3-33. Kingborough 1 goal, 6-12. Smart work there again from Dan Withers.
It certainly was, Dave. That first goal he kicked earlier in the game, dribble on the ground, a similar position on the ground, and that goal there from Withers, really classy work. That handball from Whitford just opened the space, and he was under pressure there for Withers. Tackle there from Elijah Reardon, I think it was, and in the end, just snuck it through for a goal. Bit of remonstration off the ball as well following it, but that is a huge goal in this game. 5-3-33, the Northern Bombers, they extend their lead. So we just have a look there as they try to treat the football.
Probably see on the stream there's some boys climbing up to the netting there. Not sure how safe that was, but they did get the ball down. So the umpires have got it back, bring it back to the centre of the ground. Yeah, look, we talk about his NTFA awards that he's won. Decorated player with Hillwood, also played a bit with St Pat's, and he's really made that transition to state league footy. Good to see. 5-3-33, 1 goal, 6-12. So the rain, it's just a spit at the moment. So it's held off for most of the game, which is good news. There's that from the centre of the ground. Northern Bombers go forward. Nice mark and defence taken there by Ben Donnelly.
Ben Donnelly out wide, finds Zach Adams just outside defensive 50. Just taking his time to assess his options now, Zach Adams. Hoist the ball down the line. Sorty caught at the back of the pack. In the end, Van Buren runs out of bounds for a throw-in.
Half-time, Deloraine lead by 8 points, 38-30. The St George Shield Grand Final there at Deloraine.
So a boundary throw-in directly in front of us in the commentary position. Marcus Gardner and Alex Lee to do battle. True centre wing. Brings the ball down to Ponting, does Lee. Hurried kick to half forward. Strong mark taken in the end. Really good work there from Lasky. He's going to wheel and go. Just a dinky ball inside 50. A nice kick towards McCulloch. Unable to complete the mark. Tigers did well in defence. Ashland and Reardon combine at the bottom of the pack. Reardon stripped of the football. The umpire says nothing to worry about. Have the ball up. Right on the paint of 50. So North Launceston just starting to have a couple of repeat entries now as Josh Ponting and Marcus Gardner exchange pleasantries off the ball. McCulloch doing the ruck duties. Taps it down. Brilliant work there from Taylor Whitford. Godomski sweeps on the loose football. Sharon Egger sells a bit of candy to no one in the end and kicks the ball inside 50. McCulloch drops what he probably should have taken, but Whitford swoops on the football, kicks his second, and the Northern Bombers are away again. Taylor Whitford just continuing an exceptional game of football from the coach. 6-3-39, the Northern Bombers. They lead the Tigers 1-6-12.
Just once again, the way he allowed for the breeze there, he had split second to think about it. Just put up beautifully, and the wind just took it straight between the posts. Second classy effort today from Taylor Whitford. See on the replay there, those watching the stream, on the right boot, sailed over the goal umpire's hat there, and great work from North Launceston. They're really taking control here now, Anthony. 6-3-39 to 1 goal 6-12. So it's hard to see a way back here for the Tigers. Inside 50s this quarter groups.
Inside 50s. Well, North Launceston just a 4 to 5 to the Tigers, but well on top in clearances and hit outs.
It was 5-0 at one stage, wasn't it? They've evened that up now as Sanders takes it from the middle. Kicks smug there from Adams, who does well. Kicks up towards half forward. Come out to meet the ball there was Luke Graham. Kenzie Willis tries to rein it in. From half back, Stan Curvis, still a handball out of Ponting. Kicks straight away. James Curran front position. Now it's with Sanders, who tries to break a tackle and does. Sideways handball to Egger. Egger, torpedo towards half forward. Oh, that was well done there in front by Gadomski. He's gone down into it. Keep an eye on that. Now it's with James Curran for goal. Fades off to the left. And I think Gadomski may have done that hamstring. We'll have to wait till he gets up. He felt for his leg. He's got up limping. And that'll be a big blow for the Tigers. So, ball's clear to the outer side.
Yeah, Gadomski, trainers come to him now. It's a fantastic effort to get his hand to the football. Yeah,
just in that stretch, I think the hamstring went, and he was injured. Was he out with a hamstring earlier in the season? I think he might have been. I think it was a hamstring injury, so he might have redone it.
Does ring a bell. He's just being assisted from the field at the moment. Back in play, Josh Ponting with the ball just outside 50, drives the ball in the direction of Withers. Tigers with some numbers. Quick kick, but it's going to come back with interest as Riley Sanders stops and props and drives the ball inside 50. Mark taken by Bart McCulloch, the back of the pack. Riley Sanders, he didn't blaze away straight away, just took his time, assessed his options, and found Bart McCulloch laced out on the chest, and he's going to kick from goal. He's going to be kicking from about 30 metres out, only a slight angle. Hasn't had a lot of the football so far today, Bart McCulloch, but this is a real opportunity for him now. Begins his approach to goal, just Bart McCulloch. Ball on the way, never going to miss from there was Bart McCulloch. He kicks his first. The Northern Bombers kick away again. They've got 3 for the quarter. They move to 7-4-46. They lead the Tigers 1-6-12, and it's going to be hard work now for the host, Dave Moore.
Yeah, look, what I like about Riley Sanders is when you see him in his position that he doesn't rush them.
Yeah.
He just takes that second, just a bit of calmness. He sums up, and that time, like he had a bit of time. He didn't throw it on the boot. He just right, what are my options? There's Bart McCulloch. He delivered it straight to him. Fantastic play from a young player. Just repeating that half-time score at Deloraine. Deloraine 6-2-38, Roach lead 4-6-30. I'll get an update from the game at Richmond in a moment, which is very exciting, especially for Clarence supporters. Taking out in the middle is Riley Ashley. His tackle gets a second attempt. Kicks it inside 50. Here's a chance for the Tigers. They're first inside 50 for a while. Dygan's there. Little handball sideways. Now it ends up with Eddie Burrows-Cheng back to Ashland. Now to Reardon. There's a chance inside 50. Reardon, nice pass. And leading out to take the mark is Jack Bilson. So Bilson might be a bit far out to score. A cloud-shrouded Mount Wellington in the background. So it's just been spitting rain here in this second half. Great surface here at the Twin Ovals, you'd hardly know it. As Bilson decides to centre it beautifully, and that's Oliver Burrows-Cheng, I think, who's taken the mark there, about 25 out directly in front. In fact, it is.
Spending quite a bit of time inside 50 this year, Oliver Burrows-Cheng. A lot of time as a midfielder for the Tigers last year. And after the shot on goal, I'll give you an update from the Richmond Oval, Dave Moore.
Yes, very interesting times here in the TSL. They desperately need this one as Ollie Burrows-Cheng for goal. Sets it up nicely, and that's their second. Players get around Ollie. That was a smart play there from Jack Bilson. He was too far out to score. We found an option, plenty of space there in Ollie Burrows-Cheng. 2-6-18, plays 7-4-46. The Bombers lead by 28. Richmond.
Yes, three-quarter time down at Richmond, and a wasteful Launceston 2-10-22. They trail the host Clarence 4-26, so 4 points the difference. 6 scoring shots to Clarence, 12 scoring shots to the Blues, and the Blues trail by 4 points.
Okay, so 0G, that's going to be a very big result if Clarence can win that. Basically, assures them of that 4th spot. If they lose, well, they're probably still favourites, but there's more to play out in the last round of the TSL.
So back in the middle here at the Twin Ovals, Marcus Gardner up against Lee. One down, the Tigers with some numbers, but Bain and Lowe just showing a bit of dash through the middle of the ground. Drives the ball inside 50. McCulloch's going to be the target, almost pulls it down. He's got wingers at ground level. McCulloch also comes in and lays a tackle. So dangerous work there from Bain and Lowe in the middle of the ground. I love watching him in full flight, Dave. Such an exciting young player. Ball up inside 50 for the Northern Bombers. McCulloch tries to win it down. Gardner sharks that football. Tap down there, clever work. Egger, the recipient, on the boot, in the pocket. Sharon Egger, he kicks his second, and if you don't mind, just gives Xavier Dersman a little bow and arrow celebration.
Oh, fantastic stuff. And we saw Sharon Egger really tear it up at KG5 a few weeks ago. What a goals, 3 goals in the quarter there. And he just pops up. I mean, he's been playing on ball a bit this year, but also he's still got that small forward role, which he plays so well. So that's the answering goal, just as the Tigers trying to mount something there. The Northern Bombers reply straight away, 8-4, 52-2-6-18.
Just some excellent crumbing work there from Sharon Egger. He's in the right place at the right time, and he certainly likes his own work there with that goal, and deservedly so. It was exceptional.
Why not? That's fantastic. So 19 minutes and 40 seconds gone in this third quarter. So still time, maybe for a last score here. See if the Tigers can get that goal leading into the last quarter. But Ponting wins the clearance in the middle. Leading up now is Nathan Pearce. Second attempt, he picks it up. Gets away to Simpson. Dodges around. Left-hand handball, Bain and Lowe. Inside 50, Bain and Lowe. Has it got the distance? It has. Hasn't got the accuracy? It has. Bain and Lowe, another goal for North Launceston. The young man from Devonport. That's their ninth. 9-4, 58-2-6-18. Easy as you like. Gee, that ball carried some distance, Anthony Osborne.
Yeah, Bain and Lowe, he's got a lot of drive on his kick, doesn't he? Every time he uses the football, he can really penetrate, and that's his second for the day. Such an extra element to this North Launceston outfit, Bain and Lowe. He has good goal sense, he's a good user, and obviously he's really quick as well, straight back into the middle of the ground, and a couple of really nice clearances this quarter. That's just a fantastic finish, and a day where finishing has been tough for everyone, just showing a bit of class.
Dave Gruber loves his stats, and he's hoping that Bart McCulloch kicks the next goal, because then there'll be 5 goal kickers each with 2. He loves the symmetry like that. Over to you, Anthony.
Love that from you, Grooves. Bain and Lowe again in the thick of the action. Handball out wide in the direction of Alex Lee. The Tigers with some runners. Alex Bessel, he's got a couple of options there for him. Does well in the end. Gets the ball to Ollie Burris-Cheng. Rolls out of bounds for throw-in. So Tigers, all of a sudden, they're down by 40 points. 2-6-18. North Launceston 9-4, 58. 21 and a bit gone in this third term.
We're 9 or 10 minutes without a goal, so North Launceston get 5 in about 10 minutes.
Yep, absolutely. They've turned it on in this third term. Gardner had to sit. Bessel is at the bottom of the pack. Just paddles the ball out to Mackenzie Willis. Digan now has it. Does well. Stands tall. Handball out wide to Ollie Burris-Cheng, a goal kicker in this quarter. And then spills the mark. Slips on the football though. Zach Adams there is back up for the Tigers. He looks to drive the ball inside 50. Let's look at his options. Just going to set it up to a dangerous position. Carter's there. Donnelly gets up and punches the football. Willis laid over the tackle. It's going to be a ball up. Out to 25 metres out from the Tigers' goal.
Dangerous position here for the Tigers. If they can score a goal here, I'm not sure they can get back in the game, but might give them a little bit of momentum leading into the last quarter. But Event has something to do about that. He gets the handball in towards Lowe. He fights on hard for the ball, drags it back in as Bain and Lowe. Says no, give it to me. So next week, City Park Radio Sport is at UTAS Stadium. It's a 1:40 start. North Launceston and Glenorchy. So the last game of the year for the Pies, most likely. It was from that contested ball. Nicely done there. I think that was Jackie Avent, but he kicks it straight to Zach Adams, who hasn't been the worst today for the Tigers. Played a good game in the sleeves. Bit of Devils experience from last year. Hits inside 50 towards the goal square. Lots of players rising high. Lee couldn't quite take it from front position. Carter's in there fighting for it. Gets a little kick away. It's Tyler Carter. And it spills out of bounds. Not a bad result, but it hits the behind post for the Tigers. So dying seconds of the quarter. 23 minutes gone. We've had a goal scored in this quarter. So there might be a little bit of time left yet. So we're a little bit behind the other game at the moment. See what happens here from the ball in. Taken by Carter, who snaps a goal. No, touched Players were celebrating, but it was off fingers. 2-7-19 Kingborough, 9-4-58. Out from fullback Van Buren. Finds his teammate there in Connor Young. Connor Young on the half volley to Standards, who had to get around a couple of tacklers. Back to Van Buren. Handball out of Connor Young. An efficient North Launceston back line at it again. Kick from Young clears Pierce. Elijah Reardon's happy to see it over the boundary line. The 24 minutes gone. Take us through to three-quarter time, Anthony Osborne.
No worries at all, Dave. A couple of minutes here. Tigers will be desperate not to concede a late goal. Launceston so impressive this quarter, as you mentioned, Dave. A slow start, but 5 goals in a hurry. He's in a dominant position as Lee wins that ball down. Bain and Lowe, so lively. 2 goals so far today. High up and under inside 50. Reardon and Pierce competing. Big collision just off the ball as Donnelly drives the ball out of defensive 50. Out of bounds for another throw in. Boundary umpires certainly earning their pay today. It's one of those afternoons. Gardner and Lee set up once again. Almost played 25 minutes in this third quarter. Ball comes into play. Lee wins that tap down. Simpson robs it really well. Feeds the handball out to Ponting, who bit of a shimmy and a shake as he drives the ball inside 50. Having to sit there with Will Campbell, who takes a strong contested mark. Follows to Daniel Withers. Campbell opts to drive the ball out wide. A dangerous football and a big ball to be won. It looks like it's going to go the way of Jay Foon, who just paddles the ball to his teammate, Bart McCulloch. North Launceston wins some numbers. Whitford combines with Pierce. The late inclusion from the pocket. Minus score. North Launceston 9-5-59. Kingborough 2-7-19. Just approached the end of this third quarter. Elijah Reardon bring the ball back into play. We thought it was going to be a short one, but those goals have extended things, Dave.
Yep.
Out the back, Zach Adams with some space as the siren sounds. Still just wanted to hurry on and get the possession away, but three-quarter time at the Twin Ovals. Kingborough 2-7-19. They trail the Northern Bombers 9-5-59.
Well, a strange quarter, Anthony, because I think we made the comment about the 8 or 9 minute mark. There hadn't hardly been a score.
Yep.
And then North Launceston, as they do, they just take control of a game and they kick 5 goals in a short period of time. So 5 goals to 1 in that quarter. Let's look at the goal kickers. Daniel Withers 2, Taylor Whitford 2, Sharon Egger 2, Bain and Lowe 2, Bart McCulloch 1 for the Bombers. And the goal scorers for the Tigers, William Campbell 1, Oliver Burrows-Cheng 1. So, yep, they were probably a fair way ahead at half-time. There was still a chance for the Tigers to get back into it, but they really asserted their authority in that third quarter, Anthony.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned at the start of that third quarter that the first 5-6 minutes were really owned territory-wise from the Tigers. They just didn't capitalise with the scoreboard. And then North Launceston completely shifted the contest in the back half of that third term.
I think they had the first 5 inside 50.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. And, yeah, speaking of, we'll get some stats from Dave Gruber shortly. It'd be interesting to see where that ended up finishing that quarter. But guys like Bain and Lowe really took that game by the scruff of the neck, and the composure and class of Taylor Whitford to kick that goal as he did for the second time today. A really tricky goal in the conditions, just did it with so much class. It was incredibly impressive.
Exciting thing for North Launceston. You talk about their contributors, Bain and Lowe, Sharon Egger, Oliver Sanders, Riley Sanders. So they've got those younger players. They're not just relying on the Pontings. The Whitford two have been fantastic as well to do the job.
Exactly right. And I think, again, Bart McCulloch started to get himself involved in the game as that quarter progressed as well. And I think that's just a product of the repeat inside 50 entries as well. And I think Alex Lee, shout out to him as well. I think he's really asserted his dominance around the ground.
Before we go for a break, Anthony, give us a quick score there from Richmond. They're a bit ahead of us now.
Yeah, so 4 and a bit minutes gone in the final term. Clarence 4-3-27, still leading the Blues 2-10-22. So 5 points of difference in favour of the Clarence.
We'll take a break. We'll come back and have a look at all the stats to three-quarter time here at the Twin Ovals. And leading out to take the mark is Jack Bilson. Bilson, as you'd hardly know it, as Bilson decides to centre it beautifully. And that's Oliver Burrows-Cheng, I think, who's taken the mark there, about 25 out directly in front. They desperately need this one as Ollie Burrows-Cheng for goal. Sets it up nicely, and that's their second. Players get around Ollie. That was a smart play there from Jack Bilson. He was too far out before. He found an option, plenty of space there.
Young player. Ball up inside 50 for the Northern Bombers. McCulloch tries to win it down. Gardner sharks that football. Tap down there, clever work. Egger, the recipient, on the boot, in the pocket. Sharon Egger, he kicks his second, and if you don't mind, just gives us Davey and Dersman a little bow and arrow celebration.
Oh, fantastic stuff. And of course, Sharon Egger really see if the Tigers can get that goal leading into the last quarter. But Ponting wins the clearance in the middle. Leading up now is Nathan Pearce. Second attempt, he picks it up. It's away to Simpson. Dodges around. Left-hand handball, Bain and Lowe. Inside 50, Bain and Lowe. Has it got the distance? It has. Hasn't got the accuracy? It has. Bain and Lowe, another goal for North Launceston. The young man from Devonport. That's their ninth. 9-4-58. So we're a little bit behind the other game at the moment.
You are not permitted
See what
under
happens
any
here for the ball in.
circumstance to
Taken by
interfere
Carter.
with
Snaps.
the
Goal.
race.
No. Touched. Players
You
are
are
celebrating,
not
but
a
it was
player
off fingers.
or official
2-7.
from the clubs involved, please leave the ground.
Yes, here we are at the Twin Ovals, and it's North Launceston 9-5-59 to Kingborough 2-7-19. And you got some SFL scores.
Yeah, a couple of big finals happening in the south of the state today. At half-time of the game down at Signet, the Port are leading 6-7-43 to New Norfolk 4-5-29. That's a qualifying final. Then the elimination final over at Anzac Park, the two Blues 3-4-22, trailing the Hobart Tigers 5-2-32 at the quarter time. So Hobart 10 points leaders at the first break over at Anzac Park.
See, they'll be up and about there at the TCA tonight if they get up.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had a real return to form in season 2020 and against the all-powerful Linderside, who've been so good for a number of seasons. It's a really good game.
Last score we had in the NTFA, it was a half-time lead to Deloraine by 8 points. Okay, so groups, fire away with the stats.
Right, that's been three-quarter time. Kingborough hit out 27, North Launceston 41. Clearances 20 to Kingborough, 40 to North Launceston. That's 22 clearances that quarter, and a lot of hit outs by his first use of the ball. Inside 50, 30 to Kingborough, 37 to North Launceston. Marks inside 50, 4 3. 13 to Kingborough, 7 to North Launceston.
Anthony, when you look at that inside 50s, 37 to 30, it's not a huge disparity, but once again, the old firm back there, you've got Arian Richter Solder, Jack Event, Jay Foon, these sort of guys. They just repel every attacking move the Tigers have been putting up.
Yeah, exactly right. I think it's also to do with the quality of the inside 50 entries as well. A lot of North Launcestons have been quite penetrating and deep entries. A lot of the Tigers have been either out wide or quite shallow, which again has played into the advantage of that North Launceston defence. And I guess even from a vote point of view today, there probably hasn't been one standout North Launceston defender. I think that as a unit, they've just worked incredibly well. Richter Salter and Curvis, when Tom Donnelly's been down there. These guys have been around for a long period of time. They've done really well. And again, just another strong, even performance from that defensive unit.
That's right. The less lights too. I mean, Fletcher Bennett's one that we've called a few times. So he's very serviceable back there. So, yeah, looking pretty powerful heading into finals. Of course, they've got the game next week against Glenorchy, which I'm sure they'll fine-tune. And they've got Tom Bennett, Mark Walsh and Brad Cox-Goodger. Those have just joined us, of course. He was a late out today, replaced by Nathan Pearce. So plenty of firepower to come back in for the Northern Bombers. So the Tigers, they trail by 40 points. What can they muster in this last quarter? They've got to keep pushing, because if Clarence do get beaten, they're still in the the finals race for this year. And we'll keep you up to date with that score as the last quarter progresses down at Richmond and a bit closer.
Just interesting to note, Josh Ponting starting out of the full forward goal square, Mark McCulloch in the ruck as well, I believe. So a couple of interesting little positional changes to start this term.
Okay, we'll start the last quarter. Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall, Brisbane Street Mall and Kings Meadows. Great to have your support for season 2020. Great servant of City Park Radio. As Ben Simpson kicks forward, and it's taken there by Will Campbell in defence for the Tigers. Will Campbell goes wide, and he's looking for Bilson, who takes the mark on his chest right in front of the North Launceston interchange area. Now Bilson goes short, and he has a teammate there to get the glasses up. Looks like it might be Marcus Davies. Davies goes short, and he finds Bessel. Alex Bessel, by foot, turns it over. It might work out right. It spills out of bounds off the chest there of Van Buren. Anthony, I'll let you take over. I'll just have a bit of a look at the North Launceston bench to see if Alex Lee is okay.
Yeah, interesting positional change. We just get the boundary throw in. Again, Mark McCulloch competing in the ruck for the Northern Bombers. He wins it down. And Simpson down at the foot of the pack. Sharonega just trying to handle a slippery football. Uses his left boot. Dinky kick out wide. Kieran Lovell, Burrows Cheng put the pressure on for the Tigers. A tackle laid in the end. The umpire agrees that it's holding the football. So a strong tackle laid there by big Marcus Gardner.
So Alex Lee, Anthony, is at the back of the box. Knows who ice or anything. Looks like he's still ready to play. So it might be good news for the Northern Bombers. Just having a spell.
So Marcus Gardner, middle of the ground with the free kick. Assesses his options and just sets the ball up inside 50. Punch over the top was actually quite handy there for the Tigers in the end. Puts a bit of pressure on the last line of defence for North Launceston. They try and drive the ball out. Ponting, met by McCulloch, a nice little spin from him, just ends up receiving his own handball. Zach Adams combines with Riley Ashley, who turns it over straight to Sharonega, who just kicks for meterage down the wing here at the Twin Ovals. Will Campbell will be the first one to swoop on the football. Does well, just a man they call Soup, kicks the ball down the line, just slips through Josh Ponting's hands. Does well to retreat, gets the football out to Ollie Sanders, into Taylor Whitford, couple of prime movers just combining there. Whitford, across the ground to Simpson. Has the runner out wide. That's who he's going to use. It's Corey Nankervis. Such a consistent player this season for North Launceston in defence. Not his best work there. Turning it over to Marcus Davies, who plays on. Kicks the ball down the wing. Cooper Sorty takes the mark on his chest.
Sorty, attacking side of the wing. Hasn't had a lot of it today, but he gets the kick forward now towards Marcus Davies. So Davies right half forward. Right on the boundary line. Kicks forward. Looking there for Carter. But too many Northern Bombers defenders there to punch it away. So the boundary throw in. So Northern Bombers, 5 goals in that second quarter. As Anthony will give us a scoring bit there from Richmond as it gets towards the end of that game. They're a bit ahead of us at the moment. Tyler Carter brings the tap out. Fighting there is Ashland. Going through nicely there is Egger. Egger kicks forward close to the boundary line. Clears Withers. Tap on there from Lasky towards Burt. Burt left foot. We're in attack now of the Northern Bombers. The ball spills towards the line and just trickles through forward behind. Anthony.
Yeah, so Launceston have just kicked a goal. They now lead 3-13-31 to 4-3-27. Jake Hines kicking the goal to put them back in front.
Okay. As Will Campbell takes the mark. Left half back. So very similar to that first game at Windsor Park where probably Launceston's inaccuracy cost them in that game. So wait and see if that happens again today. As Will Campbell kicks up the wing. Bilson in a contest there with Food. Charging through there was Bessel. Has to give it up. Bain and Low. Might have got one high. Now it's taken there by Pearce on the bottom of the pack. There'll be a ball up on the wing. The sting's gone out of this game. Result now not in doubt with a 41-point margin. Yes, it's a ball up on the wing.
One down by Gardner, only as far as Simpson. Gardner comes in, lays the tackle, paddles the ball forward, but Simpson and Bain and Lowe combine. So impressed by Bain and Lowe in recent weeks. One smothered by Marcus Gardner to go out of bounds. And with that score down at Richmond, that's 13.5 gone in the last quarter, Dave. So that's becoming a very tight finish down at Richmond Oval.
Yeah, as we said, the odds are still with Clarence because they do play North Hobart in the last round, which won't be easy, of course. But the Tigers would have to overcome Lauderdale fresh off the bye.
So a free kick going the way of North Lonnie. Take the advantage. Ollie Sanders in the middle of the ground. It was a brave kick, but Sanders did well as he's done so well today. Finds Bart McCulloch. Ends up taking it on the third grab. He made what would generally be a regulation mark for him quite difficult, but points for the difficulty in the end. McCulloch takes a strong grab. Now, you can see Dave Gruber getting very excited. McCulloch's kicked 1 so far today. If he kicks his second, he'll be the 5th North Lonnie player to have 2 for the afternoon. He's going to have to kick this the best part of 55 metres or so. Man on the marks, about 48 metres from goal. So McCulloch begins his approach to goal now. He's going to take every bit of it, drives it right to the goal line, but Marcus Gardner takes a strong grab, uncontested in the end. So he brings the ball out defensive 50, looking for Ashland. North Lonnie with some numbers. Taylor Whitford, some slick work from him. He finds Lasky with hands. He goes out to Ben Simpson in the middle of the inside 50 for North Launceston. Bouncing ball in the Zach Bird direction. Elijah Reardon swoops on the football, shrugs one tackle, dances around another, and has the composure to hit up a target just outside defensive 50.
As the little handball's not good from Davies. Ends up now with Bilson. Kenzie Willis is in there. Riley Sanders. That's a nice handball backwards now towards Connor Young. Connor Young to Whitford. Whitford forward to Simpson. Strong hands. Oh, must have been paid it. Off the ground there by Campbell. There's a chance, Luke Graham. Over to Davies. Now to Ashland. Now to Campbell. All by hand. Campbell inside 50 for his second. He's offline. So, yeah, gilt-edged opportunity there for the Tigers to score their third goal. Great move to the footy. They play on quickly now to North Launceston. Connie Young to Arian Richter Soda. Set play here. So they approach half-back. The contest here is Burt and Donnelly. And Donnelly's done a great job on Burt today. He pumps the ball away again. Probably would win that contest over the course of the game so far, would Ben Donnelly.
He stood up really well this year, particularly with Will Poland moving to Lauderdale. He's really had to take on an extra level of responsibility, Ben Donnelly, and another excellent performance today.
Boundary throw in. Wrestle. Gardner wins the tap. Shark here by Riley Sanders. Kicks high in the air towards the boundary line. It might float out. And it does. So Dan Withers arrives on the scene a little bit late.
Even with that, though, Dave, as we mentioned so many times today, just took his time, Riley Sanders. I'm really impressed by him so far. So Alex Bessel will take the free kick. Drives the ball to half forward. Now Curvis has the sit, but going back with the flight, Mackenzie Willis, really good grab. Running backwards. He's just going to assess his options. He's about 70 metres out from goal. Kicks to a very dangerous position. Tyler Carter trapped at the back of the pack and a strong grab taken by Tom Donnelly. Just the ultimate utility in this North Launceston outfit, Tom Donnelly. Plays a bit of everywhere. Out wide to Bain and Lowe. Who opts to switch the ball once again. Fellow young gun in Riley Sanders, who's just warmed to this game as he's going on. Taylor Whitford set a task, does well to get around Willis. There's support there in Dan Curvis, who chips the ball down the line to Lasky. Now he's got Bart McCulloch calling for it towards goal. Decides just to stop and wait for some other options to Jacob Lasky. In the end, sets the ball up. Burt at the back, but a strong grab taken. A good couple of minutes here for Ben Donnelly. Does really well taking that mark. He chips the ball to Marcus Davies. The Tigers get out of defensive 50.
Davies into the centre. Taken there by Sordy. Off now to Davies. He's lifted his game in this second half. Nice mark. And he gets Oliver Burrows-Cheng over there. Scored one of the 2 goals for the Tigers. And balls to his brother Eddie. Into the forward pocket. Taken by Event. Kick's not a good one. Has to go back in it after a second time. Jack Bilson back to Eddie Burrows-Cheng. Left foot. Centering kick. Can't find a teammate. Now he does. Mackenzie Willis. Little handball. Kick inside 50 taken by Whitford. We get some heavy attention there from Lovell quite late. And I suspect that will be 50. Let me see. There's a bit of remonstration going on. No, the umpire says that was in the contest. Mackenzie Willis. So the mark is set. Handball. So Whitford. Winston Payne there as he caught one in the back. Up the wing. Nice mark taken there by James Curran. Ex-Launceston grammar boy. Anthony, you got a quick score for us?
I do. Launceston look to have it sewn up now. 5-14-44 to 4-3-27. 19 minutes gone last quarter.
Okay, so the Tigers might live for another day here in the finals race. Comes down to the last round. Taken now here by Van Buren. Kicks inside 50. And that might be a goal. It is. And that's, I'd be surprised if that wasn't his first goal in the TSL. Not sure about that for Braden Van Buren. But suffered a horrible injury at Windsor Park last year, which ruined his finals effort. And they missed the grand final. But that was a great goal there by the number 19, Braden Van Buren.
Absolutely. And goals from your half-backs are absolute gold, Dave. And classy finish from Van Buren in the end. You can see there on the replay for those watching the stream. Kicks from the paint of 50. A lovely finish from him. So 10-6-66, the Northern Bombers leading the Tigers 2-8-20.
It's great to see his teammates getting around him there. So it may well be like he's played in defence the last couple of years in the TSL. So I don't know for sure, but it could well be.
So certainly a good goal if it is his first one, Dave. Excellent finish from him. Tom Donnelly now competing in the ruck for the Northern Bombers. So Alex Lee still nowhere to be seen. It's Pearce now, just dances into 50. Handball over the top to Sharon Eggo. He's got a bit to do now. Tries the little kick on the outside of the boot. Then just lays a tackle off the ball. The umpire didn't pay anything. It was on Marcus Davies, who was a good 10 metres away from the ball. The umpire chooses to say play on, and now we'll have a stoppage.
Don't want to be critical, Anthony. The umpire's been good today. Gee, that was a free kick to Marcus Davies, I thought.
It looked to be a fair way off the football,
Yep.
but let off their foot on the Bombers. Josh Ponting roving at the back of the pack. Don't tell me Josh Ponting just misses to the near side. He's been good today, Josh Ponting, as he always is.
There's a little assist there from Nathan Pearce, which is pretty good too. It's just the little things that Northampton do well. As McCulloch puts it straight to Josh Ponting, who marks 45 out from goal. Plays on, off to Foon. Foon launches. Will that come back with a breeze? It's in the goal square. Zach Burt sets himself off hands, another behind. 10-8-68. Plays 2-8-20, so it's an even 8 goals now for the lead. Just repeating it, Launceston might be home there at Richmond. And Anthony check another score. He'll be fairly close to siren time, I'd imagine. As McCulloch this time does a better job and hits the chest of Marcus Davies, who plays on. Kicks inside the centre square. Gee, that's a nice kick. Mackenzie Willis gets it to Campbell. Great flowing footy here from the Tigers. Into half forward, and the mark is taken by Carter. He plays on. Assistance here from Willis, who'll stroll in and kick a goal for the Tigers. End-to-end stuff. Fantastic work, Kingborough Tigers. From the kick out from fullback, they move the ball beautifully through the centre of the twin ovals and ends up with Mackenzie Willis, who scores a good goal.
Certainly was, and getting some hustle off the mark there from Tyler Carter, created the space. Nice finish from Mackenzie Willis, and at Richmond Oval, to goal there from Tim Jones means that Launceston now lead 50-27, 22 minutes into the last.
There we go. So I don't think percentage matters much now between the two teams. I think Clarence have probably got the Tigers covered with that. Tigers have had some heavy defeats this year. But yeah, we'll come down to the last round. And in fact, if Glenorchy can beat North Hobart tomorrow, they're in with a slight chance as well. But they'll have the toughest of all contests in the last round, of course, playing North Launceston at UTAS Stadium.
So Gardner, again competing against Tom Donnelly in the ruck, wins it down. Adams coming off the wing, combines with Lockie Watt. Adams wins it back again. Hurried kick towards half forward for the Tigers. Mackenzie Willis and Riley Ashland there, unable to lay the tackle. Fletcher Bennett bringing the ball out of defensive 50 for North Launceston in the Pearce direction. Elijah Reardon punches it out of bounds. He's certainly been one of the better players again, I reckon, for the Tigers, Dave. He probably hasn't had as much of it as last week, but has still been one of the Tigers' better performers.
Just want to mention that last goal, Anthony, because that was as good a footy as you'd see anywhere. That was really great end-to-end stuff.
It certainly was, and they've done that a couple of times today. North Launceston, I should say, have done that a couple of times today. It was really good work from the Tigers. And I think there'll still be some positives they'll get out of today's game, but it's certainly one of the highlights of the afternoon for them. Back in play, Fletcher Bennett, defensive side of the wing, brings the ball out wide. Egger drives the ball inside 50. Hot spot, dangerous kick, and in the end, I thought it might have just sailed over the top. The mark was taken. North Launceston, they've now got a golden opportunity to kick another goal for the afternoon.
That's a big ruckman.
It is, looked like Alex Lee, so we hadn't seen him for much of this last quarter, Dave. Seen Tom Donnelly and Bart McCulloch competing in the ruck, but Alex Lee had the big mismatch in height, took the mark comfortably in the end. He's going to kick this goal from the top of the goal square. He begins his pursuit now. He's been outstanding today, Alex Lee. Makes no mistake. And the Northern Bombers, they kick goal number 11 and extend their lead once again. Alex Lee hitting the scoreboard for the first time today. And it was pretty early with the hit-outs and the clearances early on in the contest, I should say. It was quite even, but he's certainly extended his dominance as the game's gone on.
I'd say a lot of this, Anthony, is about management. We've seen Ponting playing forward, Whitford, Lee. I think it's about managing these players leading into the finals. There's no doubt about that. And they've just got, they've got the backup, haven't they? At the moment on the ball, we've got Nathan Pearce, late inclusion, Ollie Sanders, young players play a fair bit in the middle. So you've got all these players that can roll through the middle, and Tom Donnelly is now in the ruck up against Marcus Gardner. Sharking the ball there well was Withers. Out now to Riley Sanders. Nice handball to Foon. Foon towards half forward. Half volley Ponting. To Foon again. And I think it's James Curran taking the mark there up against Eddie Burrows' Ching. It is. Couple kicks out from goal. Wheels and goes. Deep inside 50. Egger nearly takes a spectacular mark. Pearce the fall. Over to Ponting. His kick doesn't get full purchase. Falls in the lap of Sam Rice. Right on the last line of defence.
Sam Rice to bring the ball back out of the fence for the Tigers. Riley Sanders has the sit, shows some composure. Players coming from everywhere, took the mark and finds Tom Donnelly with a short spearing ball. Really impressed with the debut of Riley Sanders today. He's shown he's well and truly up to the level. Tom Donnelly tries to massage the ball inside 50. Ponting in the end gets the punch. Finds Van Buren. His handball only as far as Will Campbell. Zach Adams at the bottom of the pack. Tied up against the boundary line, over and out for a boundary throw-in.
What it would be really interesting to see tonight, Anthony, when the stats come on, the Premier Data stats, is Riley Sanders' efficiency. There's only that kick out on the full, which drifted with the breeze, but I think every other possession has hit the mark.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was I guess that's the big hype about him as well. He's such a good user. And much like Ollie, I think today, they've used the ball incredibly well, the Sanders brothers.
It's from the boundary throw-in. I'll get you an NTFA score here in a second as it's hustled out of bounds. Yes, 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Deloraine by 18 points, but I think Rachel Lee will have the breeze in that last quarter. And not far to go, I reckon, at Richmond, and it looks like Launceston are going to take that one out. And I'll put the pressure on North Launceston leading into the last round. Of course, Launceston have the bye, so North Launceston will finish on top now. As Pearce gets it to Sanders, he's tackled by Eddie Burrows-Cheng. Slow in the tackle, no prior, it'll be a ball up.
Yeah, it does look like a 23-point win to the Blues at Richmond Oval there, Dave.
All over?
Yeah, all over there, and it was 20 scoring shots to 7 in the end. So Launceston's inaccuracy didn't hurt them in the end.
Pearce to Withers, who's kicked 2. Difficult shot, beautifully done by Dan Withers. That's 3 goals. That's superb finishing there from the boy from Hillwood, Dan Withers. 3 goals in the contest this afternoon. 12-8-80, plays 3-8-26. Impressive.
Absolutely. In tough conditions today, he's shown a bit of class inside 50, and they've all been goals on the move as well. He's found a bit of space and been able to get the scoreboard. And that's as tough a kick as we've seen today from Withers. Tight angle. Nice work of hands there from North Launceston as well, and just threading the needle beautifully.
The assist from Nathan Pearce, and I'll tell you what, there's going to be some hard selections here because you've got Riley Sanders coming in, Nathan Pearce. It was a late inclusion, but they've been some of the better players.
Exactly right. No, they've been excellent. I think the younger guys as well, like Bain and Lowe, they've actually cemented the spot in this team now. So it's a good problem to have. So back in the middle, Tom Donnelly doing quite well on the ruck in his final term, it must be said. He wins it down. Mackenzie Willis hassled off the football, and support there in Alex Bessel. Willis' handball doesn't quite hit the target. Donnelly links up with Simpson to the middle of the ground as Simpson drives the ball inside 50 in the Alex Lee direction. Doing well in the end there. Blake McCulloch just gets a fist onto it. Then Donnelly extracts the football from the bottom of the pack. Kicks out of defensive 50. Finds Mackenzie Willis. Packed up against the boundary. His ball finds Burrows-Cheng just in front of the interchange gates. Kicking the ball to half forward in the end. Just falls in no man's land. North Launceston with the numbers as they bring the ball back up the interchange gates. Jacob Lasky stripped of the football, holding the footy according to the umpire. Nice work from Elijah Reardon. He gets the free kick. Just backwards of centre wing for the Tigers. Risky kick back in the middle of the ground. Will Campbell with quite a task. Withers and Egger. They combine beautifully. Egger with a bit of space to move now. Dinky ball inside 50. Easy as you like. It's Taylor Whitford on the chest. Coach already has 2 for the afternoon and 2 spectacular goals. Now he has a regulation set shot. We'll have to kick it from about 40 metres out, almost directly in front. Been one of the standout performers today, Taylor Whitford. So good for so long. The North Launceston coach.
That rain that's held off most of the day, Anthony, is just starting to set in a little bit.
It's certainly very dark overhead. We're setting the lights to come on soon as Taylor Whitford begins his approach to goal, always missing to the left-hand side. So, minor score there, Taylor Whitford. North Launceston, 12-9-81, leading the Tigers 3-8-26.
Again, a fullback. It ends up with Campbell, who's going to switch it back here towards McCulloch, who wins the game. McCulloch cruises out of the goal square, but puts it straight to Riley Sanders. She kicks out from goal, little handball over the top. Dan Withers kicks it straight to Ponting. He marks now 20 metres out directly in front. Well done, young Riley Sanders. Once again, calm in the contest. And Withers involved, kicked the last goal. It looks like he might assist this goal to Josh Ponting, who, tell you what, a couple of Alistair Lynch medals to his credit. And he might not be far away again. And the votes are counted. So Josh Ponting, slow approach. Rain falling, grey skies. Ponting for goal. It's off to the right. He's missed. One behind. 12-10-82. 3-8-26. Just approaching the 21-minute mark here in this last quarter. Not long to go.
So the Tigers to bring the ball back out via Blake McCulloch. Straight up the guts of the ground in the Jack Gilson direction. Takes a strong mark on the chest. He's got a runner out wide in Zach Adams. That's where he goes. The ball's just held up in the breeze a little bit. Fletcher Bennett closed in but unable to affect the spoil. Mackenzie Willis links up with Marcus Davies. A couple of kicks away from goal. Dinky kick from Davies. Van Buren coming across the front, unable to complete the mark. Luke Graham there for the Tigers. Just walks out of the back in the end. Finds Lockie Watt. Snapping goal. Just marked in the goal square from Jay Foon. Another strong performance from the North Launceston star. Out wide. Look to Salter. Then as solid as ever. Kicks it back to where it came. Jay Foon once again. Risky kick to Sanders, but he's done that a couple of times today. Sanders takes the mark on the chest and wheels and goes. His kick out in the Donnelly direction. Ponting was there as well. As the siren sounds, North Launceston comprehensive winners today. 12-10-82 over the Kingborough Tigers. 3-8-26 as the rain starts to really tumble down here at the Twin Ovals. And North Launceston, as you've said a couple of times today, Dave, they're not just limping towards the finals. They are just getting started.
Well, I came here today expecting to be really tested, and they were for a little while. But I think from quarter time onwards, as they sometimes do, they have the capacity to start games slowly, the Bombers. But once they hit their stride today, they were fantastic. It was 1 goal apiece in the first quarter, 3 goals to 0 in the second quarter, 5 goals to 1 in the third quarter, and then 3 goals to 1 in the last quarter. So a pretty dominant effort there from North Launceston. Let's look at their goal kickers. Dan Withers, fantastic performance today. He's really improving with every game in the TSL. He kicked 3, Taylor Whitford kicked 2, 2 to Sharon Egger, 2 to Bain and Lowe, 1 each to Bart McCulloch, Braden Van Buren, and Alex Lee. And for the Tigers, 1 to Will Campbell, 1 to Ollie Burrows-Cheng, and 1 to Mackenzie Willis in that last quarter. So the final margin is 56 points. Groups, want to go through the stats, then we'll take a break and get Anthony's votes.
Yeah. Hit-outs, Kingborough, 36 for the game, 46 to North Launceston. Clearances, 24 to the Tigers, 50 to North Launceston, and that last one, 4. Inside 50s, 39 to the Tigers, 49 to Launceston. Marks inside 55, Kingborough, 9 for North Launceston, 5 in that last quarter. And free kicks, 16 to the Tigers, 8 to North Launceston.
Okay, so dominant performance there. Once again, as we pointed out, not a big difference in the inside 50s, but certainly far more efficient and dangerous going.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a game more on North Launceston. They just make the most of their opportunity. Probably wasted station, probably doesn't show up quite a few out of down to the full early, but I think they just were able to adapt to the way their conditions were playing. In the end, probably just too smart, too strong.
It's dropped about 5 degrees here for this last year, I can tell you. So we'll take a quick break. Chris, when we come back, we'll talk about the 3, 2 and 1 and a few of the better players.
Finds Josh Ponting, who goes in the McCulloch direction. Over the top of him, and now Sam Rice has a lot to do. Bain and Lowe competing against Sam Rice. Quick kick from Bain and Lowe. Through for 6 points. A fantastic finish from the youngster. Just
pretty much a shorter finals in season 2020. McCulloch wins a tap out to Whitford. Releases it. Chance for Withers. For his second, I think he's kicked it. Dan Withers. 2 goals. And
Who's football? Sharon Egger sells a bit of candy to no one in the end and kicks the ball inside 50. McCulloch drops what he probably should have taken, but Whitford swoops on the football, kicks his second, and the Northern Bombers are away again. Taylor Whitford just continuing an exceptional. Begins his approach to goal. Just Bart McCulloch. Ball on the way. Never going to miss from there was Bart McCulloch. He kicks his first. The Northern Bombers kick away again. They've got 3 for the quarter. They move to 7-4.
They desperately need this one. It's Ollie Burrows-Cheng for goal. Sets it up nicely. And that's their second. Players get around Ollie. It's not a smart play there from Jack Bilson. He was too far out before. We've found an option. Plenty of space there.
Young player. Ball up, inside 50 for the Northern Bombers. McCulloch tries to win it down. Gardner
Final score here was a
ball.
big win to North Launceston, 12-10-82 to Kingborough Tigers, 3-8-26. Also, just informing you that Launceston have beaten Clarence by 20-odd points there at Richmond. So, Clarence and Tigers still level on points, one round to go. I've got a score here too at Deloraine, the TFA Grand Final, and it's still Deloraine, 7-6-48, leading Rocherley 4-6-30. And once we finish up, you can watch that game, I think, on the NTFA Facebook page as well. Anything else for us, Anthony?
I'll get you an SFL. Actually, I've got SFL scores here as well, Dave. So the qualifying final down at Cygnet, the Porter leading 69-42 at three-quarter time. So Cygnet up and about down at the home ground, and the elimination final at Anzac Park. Then just gained a little bit of ascendancy. They're up by 18 points at half-time over Hobart.
Okay. And let's look at your better players and your 3-2-1.
Yeah, tough game for votes. There were a couple of really strong performers. I'll run through a couple of the better performers to start with. I thought for the Tigers, down in defence, Elijah Reardon and Ben Donnelly, I thought tried hard all day. I thought they were quite impressive. Kieran Lovell certainly was in the thick of the action, as he always is. Not as dominant as a lot of his other games this season, but still thereabouts. Zach Adams, I thought, was really impressive off a wing as well. But in the end, probably not enough to feature in the votes. For North Launceston, again, just a really even team performance. I thought down back, Corey Nankervis, Braden Van Buren was also very impressive. Fletcher Bennett, they were all really strong. I thought Sharon Egger showed quite a bit of dash. Alex Lee in the ruck was quite dominant as the game progressed. I feel like I could name almost every player. Riley Sanders was outstanding on debut. Daniel Withers hitting the scoreboard. But for the votes, I thought the first half particularly, Oliver Sanders, going to give him one vote. I thought when the game was really hot early, he just had the ball on a string. It was really impressive.
It's fantastic.
I'll give 2 votes to Josh Ponting. I thought he was in the thick of the action all afternoon and probably missed a couple of opportunities to take 3 votes if he kicked a couple of goals, but I thought he was really impressive. And 3 votes, I'm going to give it to Taylor Whitford. The 2 goals he kicked were absolutely outstanding finishes. He had plenty of the football and was involved in quite a few other goals as well. So probably not a clear best on ground, Taylor Whitford, but I thought he was really impressive today.
City Park Radio Player of the Year Award, 1 vote Oliver Sanders, 2 votes to Josh Ponting, 3 votes to Taylor Whitford. Dominant performance here from North Launceston. We'll wrap up because it's getting very cold. The TSLW girls are out there ready to start. Look, Anthony, is your 4th broadcast with us here. We really thank you very much for your participation, obviously on the live stream, but also on our City Park Radio coverage. It's been fantastic to come down here and work with you.
No, I absolutely loved it, Dave. You guys do a fantastic job, and I think your commitment to come and cover games in the south of the state's been fantastic, and just to add an extra layer of coverage to the competition. So I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you very much. Groups, trip down, all good?
Yep.
We had a good time once again, and we really enjoyed our 2 visits here to the Twin Ovals. Also KG5 in North Hobart this year. It's great to get out and about with City Park Radio. Next week we're at UTAS Stadium at 1:35 start of our broadcast. North Launceston versus Glenorchy, and the last round leading into the finals. We'll bring you up to date with all the other scores in that exciting last round. Okay, that's pretty much all from us here. We thank the Kingborough Football Club. They've been really good to us today to set us up in a position under cover on this very cold, wet day. We thank Chris Ball back in the studio for getting us to air. Thanks to Ash for the stream today, and also Simon, who I can see him there in the distance. He's just about to pack up the camera. So well done, Simon, in pretty adverse conditions there over behind the goals. That's all from here at Twin Ovals. It's a big win today to North Launceston, 12-10-82, defeating the Tigers 3-8-26.